The people cannot hear you quite yet, so I need you to like. How can I pop you out? You just turn on camera. I don't. That's better. Turn on camera or stream something. I need to use the pop-out view. Because I have the sound pipes through from that window.
Okay, client is opening. I'm almost ready. Everybody, let me know when they can hear me.
Man, I hope that you have. They can hear you. I hope that you've prepared your what's it called? You've patched your client, because we're currently waiting on McDonald's to patch his client, and we have reached 707, so we are looking at penalties for that.
Okay. It's a client patch. I mean, I think that's... I guess be prepared. Can I get an invite? I'm so ready.
Okay. Shoot.
Is my camera having problems right now?
Yep. He's got to restart for Vanguard. No! Alright. If we get this restart going,
Okay.
I think we'll probably just keep it to the one ban, because we are... you got to be prepared, and so I do think we have to enforce this penalty of losing at least one ban. But I think if we just like need to wait for the computer to restart, I think we probably don't need to cut all the way to 3 bans. Because we did have to, it was helpful to wait for Jags in the first place. So Jags, I will say, if you want to waive the penalty of the 1 ban for them, I will let you do that. But otherwise, I must maintain the penalty as it stands.
Let's ask Freljord.
Beep beep, minus 15 LP delivery. What the heck? Or should I just posted an ASCII art of a truck delivering an LP loss?
Pretty good. Guys, I'm here. I made it.
You made it. Oh, you're living in the garage? Nice.
Actually, insane. I got here, well, at this point 30 minutes ago, but it took me a full 20 minutes to set up. Let me show you what I got going on, okay? So I'm on Wi-Fi. I got my setup here. My computer right behind. And then, like, here's the rest of the garage. So, yeah, I'm just shoved in here, man. Look at I'm on a freaking one of those chairs.
You're looking great.
We're getting it done, guys. We are getting it done. All right. Where's my water? I got my water with me. Okay, so thank you guys for having some patience with us. Thanks for having some patience for me.
Pen is absolutely correct. Trish, that is a wedding mark behind him. That's the Lilac Lion photography. That was
dude, that's what I'm saying. This is a perfect opportunity
Lions,
to shout out our sponsors, dude. Okay, so
that was their wedding.
Here, hold on. I've got... Look at this. Do you want to have your... I'm going to put this right back, because if Katie sees me playing with it, I'm going to get in trouble. Look at this. You want to get your... Here's a professional photo. Professional camera, okay? That's what I mean. I'm putting it back, but just saying we don't mess around, okay? So there's...
Season 1 Worlds set up for Jags here.
Dude, I'm actually in the basement of a freak. It's the basement of a psychotic, but it's pretty close to Freak's basement.
Look at all those sports equipment just gathering dust.
All of these are tripods.
Maybe we can get Katie
flowers,
to set you up with an actual camera for while you're there.
Well, what I need to do is that, you know, I'm going to help him out.
Front lighting, really, but we'll get there.
Yeah. There are no options for that, by the way.
Yeah.
But you guys can see me.
I'm pretty sure that Katie can light you. Katie can light you up.
She probably does have a ring light, but I think
so I'm going to call for just a question here from Freljord Frost. Can you confer amongst yourselves and decide if you'd like to enforce the...
Well, I think...
bans? Okay, what are you going to say?
I think that we should just enforce...
Yeah, that's why I was keeping it to the 1, and then if it was close, I was going to waive it.
Because I don't...
For
it's not fair to teams to have to make that judgment, so...
Yeah.
It did kind of work out for me, but
I was gonna go
also
without you.
it's a
I was
pain in the
not gonna
ass.
hold it
Yeah.
if the teams are ready.
Yep.
I think one ban is not negotiable. They will be a one ban leverage, but I was willing to hear an argument for the extra ones. We just got a second Vanguard error. Crap.
There's a
Okay.
meme there. There's a joke in there. A second Vanguard error has hit the lobby. Um,
Yeah, we do have our clause that exceptions may be made for extenuating circumstances if they're discussed prior to the match, and so we are currently prior to the match. Never forget Jags. That's right, never forget.
Never forget. Here's a fun thing. I have no idea how this internet is going to be, this Wi-Fi. So I seem to be coming across nice and clear right now. And yeah, it's just going to be a fun night, guys. The LCC is back. I'm so excited to be back. Last night was kind of a chaotic night where I was doing the stats and like dealing with the admin stuff on the back end. I woke up at 5:30 this morning to get on the road
Just
at
wanted to
6:30.
relax, and you kept me in the channel until like 9 p.m. Just wanted to
Yeah,
relax.
had to get it done.
I was so tired, Jags.
Well, I've been up for quite a few hours at this point. So let's talk about these teams though. Frost and Zon. We didn't get to talk about them
I gave a bit of a
together.
lane by lane, so you can dig in on these specific points that you want to hit.
Yeah, I would love to talk about how good the Frost have been, and they are the favorites in this match, right? Cross has come in as, you know, he's a rookie, but he really came in as like kind of a last minute replacement week 1, 40 minutes before their game, and they have looked super good, very strong every week. Whittle is kind of having a resurgence here as one of the best junglers in the league. Dark Jedi has come in as a rookie, and he's been really stable. He isn't winning every lane, but he's not causing big loss conditions. And then Clone has, especially last week in that match into Hope, that was probably the big hype, you know, Frost versus Buckaroos. That was our featured matchup of the week. And, you know, able to basically just completely dominate the Lock into Lux matchup. Hope had looked so good all season, did not look like he understood that matchup, and so where they were able to, this team just looks really good. I mean, I haven't even talked about Kalka yet, who was roaming, was being a nuisance. Definitely like on the Leona. Last week was a problem, but also we've seen him on Lulu and other enchanters earlier this season as well. So very versatile team. I think they're definitely a threat. And then the thing about Zon is a team that they are looking for their first win, but remember they started their first 2 weeks without Crispy, so they didn't really have their full roster. Last week they had a communication error where the timing got messed up, so they needed to bring in Izzy last minute. And that's fantastic that Izzy was able to step in, play a third game for Zon, like get some more stage time. But it's never great to be bringing somebody in last minute, right? Like your whole draft prep, your whole practice for the week is kind of down the tube at that point. So I think Zon it's very important for them to get the ball rolling and feel like they're making progress. But you can't just look at the 0-4. You have to watch their games. And anytime Crispy's in the game, it's going to be competitive and it's going to be close. And he's had conditions. I think his one game at 80 carry was his best game. I liked it better than his Zed game last week. So hopefully see him back at the carry position. And I mean, Zon, they're 0-4, but I don't think they're, and then currently at the bottom of the standings, but I don't think that they're that weak of a team. So it's really going to come down to, do they have what it takes to actually push a game over the line? And Frost is a tough test for them, I'm not gonna lie. So Frost is definitely the favorites here, and Zon also, now losing a couple bans, it's gonna be tough.
Okay, so I appreciate what you're saying. I think that's all true. I think we need to dig in a little bit here on the specifics. I want to jump in and I think try to help troubleshoot. because we're just running into repeated Vanguard errors, which is we're running into the error of it's just like this is not really preparation problem. This is potentially like Windows and Riot issues. Go with the new patch, because I also just hit a driver timeout issue and posted in there. It caused a blip on the stream for a second. What is happening?
Okay, I do not know. I'm not running into those problems. I did have an update as I logged in, but it updated and then it was good to go.
Breaking system worldwide. Dark Jedi attempting a joke, but that's funny when things are actively just all broken.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and just run an internet speed test.
Well, they're not getting rid of Vanguard. You're going to have to live with it.
Hey, it's pretty good. It's not as good as when I'm hooked up at home with Ethernet, but... I mean, yeah, I'll take it, dude. I'm getting 100 down and 85 up, 90 up. Let's go.
I was gonna say do a clean boot, so this article lines up with what I was thinking. These are the steps that I would follow. So I just posted in the general chat. These are the troubleshooting steps that I would follow if I was trying to resolve this. So this is what I would do for McDonald's as well. Start with clearing your local cache, and then so that should just take a moment for it to recreate those. That won't really take long, and then you can perform a clean boot. I know we've already gone through several restarts, but that's always worth a try. It could be a conflict with... Just have to wait for Riot to finish the Vanguard update that stops it from being kernel level. Kalka, that's not going to happen. So
let's pull up the Lotl, and I have some new stats for you. I haven't verified them as of last week, but I think that they are completely up to date. I didn't see anything that would break it. So I'm gonna ask you I'm gonna give you like the quantity and the season. I want you to tell me the player name and the team. Okay. So this is single season record. Most kills in a single regular season. It was season 2. And there were 126. Now, type it into a chat if you have a guess, if you have an answer.
Okay,
let me know what you guys...
write it in the chat, that question.
It is... most kills in a single regular season. There were 126 in a single regular season, and it was in season 2. I'm just going to wait to see who the first person... There it is. Boom. I see it. Kalka. Kalka wins. That's 1 point for Kalka. It was Agateo for Team Hospitalized. All right. Ding, ding, ding. Okay. Most kills in a single playoffs season. It was 129 in season 3. I want the player and the team name. Also, can you get the, for some reason my camera has a little thing on it.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I was changing your volume.
I know, there's like a million things
You sound different than normal. I don't know if you're using the same mic, but you sound like you're scuffed. The volume is right, but the quality is worse. So if you want to take a look at that. Okay.
Okay, Bell is correct. Bell gets the point. It was Crispy for the Targon Titans in Season 3. 129. Pretty crazy, right?
Okay, so
all right.
I think we have to talk about, like, what is the... At what point do we want to talk about, like, what do we do for getting this game played? Because this seems like just a systematic bug, so it would either be forfeit, we can move the game to another date, or at the end of the production, they could play without us as soon as he's able to get online. Or we could look for a
we do have a clear method for this. So
we do,
it's so
but
the
we
teams
also
and the captains can work through this.
McDonald's has been here the whole time. So I'm inclined to try to help get the game played.
I'm gonna keep doing. Okay, I'm gonna switch to single game records. Okay.
Okay.
There are two answers for this one. I want the. I'm gonna give you the. Well. Yeah, you gotta tell me the champion as well as the summoner. So I need the summoner name and the champion. So there are two answers for this one. Most kills in a single regular season game. It's happened twice. I want to know who did it and on what champion. While we do that,
you type
we're
the questions in the chat. I think it would help.
23, correct. Chaffles is correct.
What's the champion?
Absolutely. Boom, Carly Tristana. That's one. Okay, Clone, you get a point. There's one more time that it happened. I'll give you guys a hint. It was season 4. So not too long ago.
Yeah, we can put it in there.
It's just got to get approved. It should be an easy approval. If you're a captain, go ahead and take
to drag them into the channel. That's fine.
The STC is up, so let's get the votes in, and then we can get the game played. Ace, you got it. There it is.
I hate that Discord doesn't let you... I can't scroll at the same time I'm dragging somebody. That's so annoying.
Yep. Yeah, so it's happened. I can't believe that's happened. 23 kills in a single game, and it's happened twice. All right, now I've got one that's going to blow your mind. This happened in a playoff game. Most kills in a single playoffs game. I'm not going to give you guys any info on
briefly in the Targon Titans chat, so that was a jump scare for them. I just had to get further down the list.
Crispy Lucian, that's a good guess, but no. Okay, boom. He's approved. Give him the roll. Easy. Okay.
So I think...
It is all time, yeah. Playoffs, all time.
Not the smoothest setup we've ever had. But this does bring us to...
Is he getting accolades for most subs? That's good.
I feel bad
That's
for McDonald's.
pretty good.
Oh, that's rough. hate to see it. It
Hate to
sucks.
see it. I don't see guesses coming in. All right, I'll give you a hint. It was 26 kills in a single game.
The lobby might be bugged now.
There we go.
He
He's
is
there.
right there. Okay. I've got top, jungle,
Check the
mid,
roles.
AD
as we've
carry,
learned.
support on both teams.
Okay. Everybody's in the
Okay,
right spot.
so do we have to discuss what penalties apply here?
Yeah,
Are
we do.
Like, so this is obviously an extenuating circumstance. I think we have approved a short-term contract. Across, I think we like at least one ban has to be like one ban loss has to be applied, but I don't think we want to reach all the way to forfeit game. We've got everybody in here. I want to see the game played. Do you want me to go ahead and mute the stream for a moment? We can confer.
No, it's we're gonna work with the teams and come to a decision between admin and the teams. I think being open about it is the best way to do it. Is that okay for?
Shout out to Chopples and Disconnected Ace Jordan, throwing
Huge.
up the Prime subs before the games get started. Thank you, thank you.
Okay, so it is official. We worked with both teams to determine the appropriate punishment. We're going to be taking away one ban from the
Your
Zon
first
Plague
ban.
for the time delay, and that's it. So we are now in the game. It's week 5 of the LCC, brought to you by Oasis, the Lilac Lion Photography, and Dr. Pepper. So excited to be here. So excited to be back.
Okay, and none ban,
And
and it's taken care of. Cool.
we get to watch some League of Legends and play some League of Legends and enjoy each other's company and time. It's going to be a good one.
Beautiful. That wasn't stressful at all.
Well, we handled it.
Yep, handled. And so this does bring us down to simplifies the bans. We know Ivern ban's coming out, and I'm pretty sure Lock ban's coming out. So
Yeah, losing a ban into one of the best teams in the league is not ideal,
it's tough.
not preferred,
spot.
but it's only one ban. They'll still be able to find ways to somewhat hamper. And the Ivern for Whittle, that's one that we've seen ever since Season 2 when he came into the league. And the Lock ban, it's a hover at the moment, but it would make sense based on how he performed with it just last week.
Yeah, I would have personally been very surprised if we didn't see a Lock ban come through after that performance, and that champion is just annoying. So also, something to take note for everybody before we get too deep into this draft is go ahead and acknowledge that we might be a little delayed on the starting of the next games. And so we will follow our standard procedure for a break between games in that case, where we will leave for... There are 3 minutes after the end of the game, so we will take a short break so we can go get away, but we are going to potentially need players to be available a little bit later than they typically would be according to the schedule. And so please prepare in advance and make any arrangements that you need to now, ahead of time.
I mean, it shouldn't be more than 30
shouldn't
minutes.
be
We're
bad.
30 minutes behind schedule.
Yeah,
So
I just want to call it out so that people are aware now instead of finding out.
Yeah. Okay, Jinx and Twitch, both pretty heavy scaling ADs, but Cross's Jinx is left up here, and so it's picked up quickly. Definitely what he looks best on, and then his second is the Kaylin that we've seen him forced onto a couple times. But with Jinx up, they're going to insta-pick it. Twitch Braum is the answer. A pretty solid answer. Definitely a kill lane with the concussive blows and the ambush from Twitch. They're going to be able to look for kills on Jinx, so they need to have a support pairing here for Kalka that's going to allow them to contend in those fights. They can't, or just escape, right? And get out somehow. So interested to see what Kalka goes with. The Jarvan here for Whittle. This is a classic Whittle pick, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a classic for sure. Ivern banned away, but always such a playmaker on the Jarvan. And we've seen this like LCC, LCS on the world stage. Jarvan is such a playmaker, so flexible with the flag and drag. You've got some shielding that scales with the more people that you're nearby. Cataclysm's such a strong setup for the Magnet Storm. Always happy to see Jarvan on my team or in my hands, really. I get away with murder on that champion. And a Cho'Gath locked in for TJ in the top side. So Cho'Gath seeing some, was it nerfs, I believe? What happened to Cho'Gath this patch? Cho's early game has lost pizzazz. Okay, Cho'Gath getting a buff. So 10 damage at all ranks. Yep, 10 damage at all ranks looks like. 4 Vorpal spikes.
Just help with his clear a little bit. But
Clear.
we've seen Dark Jedi piloting the Cho'Gath in a handful of games already this season, so not really a shift in that. It'll just be a little bit stronger. That's all. And then Rel is the
It's going to be
answer.
TJ
So
in this case, but yeah.
Jinx Rel, you're correct. So it's a takeaway.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, that's a nice heads up pick here for Zon. Jinx Rel into Twitch Braum. I think Twitch Braum is going to have the advantage here in the lane phase. At least we'll have to see if Twitch is able to carry that through into the team fights. It can be a little bit harder to position the spray and pray versus Jinx. Once you get excited, you can really kind of go in and out of the fight with all that extra movement speed. So I think Twitch will have a little bit more to do in the setup early on in the fight. But, if you find a good spot and you spray and pray, that poison damage is just going to absolutely shred through the Freljord Frost here.
I think one thing that stands out for me on it, though, is that Crispy is a phenomenally technically skilled player. And Twitch doesn't give him a lot of room to do that. It kind of comes down to preparation and being in the right place rather than having hands that make the difference.
But I mean, one of the things about being a technically skilled player is the use of flash on a immobile carry like Twitch. And so this is actually going to be a great game for all of us here at home watching to just enjoy and watch how a Masters player, a high level player, is able to pilot a carry that doesn't have a dash, doesn't have a blink, has no traditional escape. And they took Gale Force out of the game a couple of seasons ago. So Twitch definitely has a lot to do, but look at his front line. He's got Braum, Cho'Gath, and Mumu. This is a beautiful front line to set up. It's exactly what Jinx would want.
I've ever seen one.
Exactly, and Jinx here has the Jarvan and the Rel already. So if they go something a little tanky here, even remotely, it's going to give them something for top lane into Cho'Gath. It's going to give both of these teams this front to back traditional team fight style, and we could be in for some great team fights. Garen instead is the hover, is the answer into Cho'Gath. So Garen, Cho'Gath, Garen maybe even is going to take Ignite here, look for kills on the Cho'Gath.
Garen
And then
is
Cho'Gath is going
historically
to scale with the health.
into Cho'Gath, so I think this one makes
Yep.
sense. I don't know what the health of the matchup is like right now, because I also thought that about Riven, and then I was proven wrong twice.
Hwei is the final answer. So, with the Garen, they're a little bit more flexible than just wanting to opt into that straight front to back team fight. And with a Brahma Mumu, you can't really blame them. So, Hwei and Jinx a little bit more at ranged here. Clone on the Hwei. That was way back in season 2 on Gets on Base. That was probably one of his best champs. And then it's going to be answered here by Leroy Lux mid lane.
Okay, so Clone going to be playing into another Lux, but on the Hwei this time. Definitely should be less room to punish, but Clone going to be very comfortable on that pickup. Let's look around. Are there any really unusual pickups for any of these players? I don't think so.
So a nice takeaway from TJ and Zon, and able to get the Cho'Gath away from Dark Jedi. And then we saw Rel is the answer into Twitch Braum. It could have been anything with Jinx. They could have gone with an Enchanter. They went with Rel, and it's clearly going to have better teamfight, better synergy with the Jarvan. And then we have to look at the side of Zon and wonder, is Lux Twitch enough sustained damage in teamfights to make it work? We know the Amumu bind, the Lux bind, the Braum concussive blows, the rupture from Cho'Gath. There's plenty of CC. Is there good sustained damage in these team fights? I think they're putting a lot of the eggs into the Crispy carry, but hey, for 2 seasons already, that's been more than enough for his teams in the past. So can he win again? Let's go ahead and do a prediction. And why can I not do this? Okay. It is the Freljord Frost versus the Zon Plague. Go ahead and get your Gambit in now. Who's got the most shareholder value?
Here you go, Jax. I did it super rushed, so it's gonna look weird later. But I have our spectator countdown.
Oh, great. Yeah.
I think we had such a long break that I ran out of music already. Typically, it lasts so much longer between the games.
Yeah.
Get that restarted. Breathe. It's always stressful when you start running into a bunch of technical issues while we're trying to handle a broadcast. And it's like, okay, quick, let's decide how to handle all of this as we're live on stream talking about it in front of everybody.
Yeah, I feel really bad because I am not at my house and I have not said hi to my hosts. So
Tyler.
Hopefully, yeah, I think
Katie's
it'll
gonna
be okay.
crucify you,
But
you know,
yeah, it's a bit rude.
it's a bit, but I feel like you definitely communicated it ahead of time.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm excited.
How's your day today?
This.
I had a good day. Today was my first day, and I just did paperwork. I just did onboarding. So yeah, how was your day?
This was chill. Better than the rest of the week has been. Didn't get quite as much work done as I would have liked, but it went okay.
This guy likes to work.
I like to be productive while I'm trying to work. It really sucks to try to be productive and not be able to. But oh well. We get through it. 30 seconds on the clock. As always, when a Whittle game is on the board, we're going to be watching the Whittle start in the Whittle jungle and see where he's going to path towards. Where else are you going to be watching out for? Jinx, Rel, Twitch, Braum, with Crispy on the map, playing off into Cross on two hyper carries that these teams are clearly built around. I'm really expecting that we need to keep an eye on the bot lane and see if Jinx can pick up another triple or double like we've seen so far this season. And then Twitch, I think first time taking the stage in Season 5.
Yeah, this is a this is a big game for it's not Dale, it's Cross.
Correct.
But yeah, this is
so
definitely a big game for Cross to just because of how they've drafted specifically. So, but he's on Jinx. He looked great on Jinx all the way back in week 1. So excited to see how this one goes. Always kind of, looking for the underdogs to make a step up, right? I think Zon knows that they are not the favorites in this one. I see you're in onto the Rift, and I am not yet, so...
Minions have spawned.
And the sounds are working correctly. Cool. Yes,
Okay,
I am
great.
onto the Rift.
I'm still
So
loading
early
it,
vision
so-
down for both teams. I love seeing how these level 1s have progressed week over week. Everybody's spreading out. They have their own decisions to make about how they want to defend or invade to get vision. We got a deep ward in from Izzy at the enemy red buff to try to spot out where Whittle Guy is starting. Whittle Guy and Clone spotted out warding the Raptors. And so we'll see Whittle Guy start on his own wolves and then move to blue buff.
Yeah.
And then Griff picking up his own blue. So,
We're up to 150, 151, 52. And
I hate this, dude.
yeah, me too. So
Skip, there's action.
Clone, yeah, he had a nice little trade here onto Leroy. Leroy already in trouble on the Lux. Meanwhile, bot side, they are sussing each other out. Early level 2 here. This is going to be crash down from Kalka down onto Izzy. Crispy and... Okay, well, jugglers are now fighting on their Raptors.
You're gonna have to
Griff
shut up
is...
until I catch up, unless you just want to talk about it early.
You gotta catch up, man. Action happening. He's going to flash
I'm
away.
gonna go
He's
4x.
out.
I'm gonna go
Oh my
1x
God.
when I watch the action happen. Yeah, he's smacking.
That was
Griff
actually
with the Raptors.
insane.
Griff he secures the finish, but then they're 1 HP. Griff flashing away will get away with
Dude,
just
I can't believe he got out.
sliver of a health bar, so we did slow
Okay,
down to see
catch
what
up.
happened.
Go live.
Now we're
Go
going
live.
faster.
Nothing else happens. That was crazy. I can't believe Griff got away. Okay. So, all of that happens. What happened? Leroy had a forced reset, has already teleported. Griff had a forced reset, has already flashed.
The thing we need to look at
so
spot
nice.
side, where Crispy and Izzy are taking a position in the tri-brush, and then there's pings down from Griff towards the enemy red buff. His red buff was stolen away. He's decided that we're not going to go for that aggressive an invade. He's just going to pick up his scuttle and then decide to move from there and see what happens. But just as it stands, Whittle Guy going to get triple buff, and it looks like he will be able to secure it. Gank in the mid lane.
Yeah, alright, so Griff looking mid, but already Light Binding is down. Here's the nice Bandage Toss. Flash out from Clone. Will go on cooldown. Will the second Bandage Toss come through? Under tower, Griff is going to take 2 shots. A couple more autos could be enough, but he will escape with his life again. But he's so low, he's going to be forced to reset. Clone looking for the
First
assassination.
blood.
It's a solo bolo in the mid lane as he wins and turns the 1v2. Big first blood for the Freljord Frost.
Yeah, I'm at 46, 47, 48.
Yep.
10-4.
Perfect. So
Just double check. But yeah, first blood out of Locke in the mid lane. I can't do it. I'm never going to use his name. He's Clone. I'm sorry. You can't change your name and do it as a bit. Make it the champion. It's so silly. But I'm watching Crispy on the rotate over.
Yeah, look at this ambush.
So instead of, rather than taking the tempo reset here, going to look for an ambush in the mid lane. Not going to reveal quite yet. Will go for just some poke now. And then
throws out the Venom Cask, but
finding TJ.
Ended up wasting just quite a bit of time there, and Izzy now has to try and get out of dodge. Traps are going to go down. He will be rooted, but the crash down from Kalka away means that they are on the run here. Crispy coming back to the lane. It's still only a 2v2. Here's Cast down on a Frost Cross. Insta flash out. Nice little double stun by Kalka as they turn the pressure now onto Crispy. Crispy brought low under 200 HP, and they are going to continue this chase forward. One more rocket should be enough. Kalka flash stun forward, but a nice flash out. The damage will connect through. Izzy is going to try and find one more auto. They will at least go even. Cross now hitting onto Izzy. The barrier from Cross will secure. It's a 2-for-1. It wasn't clean. It was scrappy, but the Freljord Frost come out on top.
How did the poison ticks over and donates the kill over to Crispy? So still going 1-for-1 and the gold going on to the AD
best case scenario.
Best case scenario indeed. But how is Izzy so tanky? Taking so many auto attacks from Cross with the fully stacked up Gatling gun, and then even after getting excited, just unable to take Izzy down. Crispy with another ambush.
Clone level 6, the flash stun will come through from Leroy, so a nice play, but they don't have the levels yet. Instantly hitting 6 on the minion, and they're going to pick up the kill. That was a huge level up. He was level 5 when they started that play. He flashed, light bind, and then got level 6 off of his wave, killing more minions. What a play for Zahn, and they cash in the mid lane.
And again, donating the kill over to Crispy. I thought the laser was going to pick it up for sure.
Yeah, both of these have been like single-digit HP. So, yeah, but the gold's going onto the right one. Looks like Griff is going to come up here and just help TJ get out of a freeze, potentially. Just reset the lane here for the Cho'Gath. And that's good jungling. That's good jungle teamwork.
It's jungle teamwork, but we can see that Whittle Guy is making the most of the early tempo that he obtained off of those Raptors invade. Finding the red buff steal, and now knowing that Griff showed top, Whittle Guy is going to miss his standard. But stealing away this blue buff, or at least going to try to do so as Griff walks out. Engaged bot side, Kalka finding the stun, but he's
action is here, and both junglers are headed towards bot, so if this goes prolonged, it could turn into a big fight. Here's the concussive blows landing on a cross. Nice trade there. Leroy and Clone in another battle here, but there's the ultimate used. That's a big spiraling despair. Nearly finds the solo kill. Flag and drag now onto Griff. Cataclysm down, but there's no flash for this little Amumu, and the mummy will die at the same time. So does Lux. So in both places, both the jungle and the mid lane, Whittle and Clone finding huge kills for Freljord.
Yeah, the pressure is on. And after such a nice pickup in the mid lane, Leroy forced to the gray screen simulator, and after the despair after the despair lands and then walks away, I imagine that it was another QW Sunstrike lands from Clone to find the finish. So great play there. And now Griff out on the top side of the map, trying to pick up what farm he can.
Yeah, we haven't talked a lot about top lane. Just to
Hasn't been
check
a
in,
lot
they're
to
pretty
see.
close
There was a
on.
freeze, but not too much of a advantage built as a result. Griff walking up there, helping to shove it in, and now Griff also moving into the top jungle. They've got 2 pink wards on that side of the map. Leroy is there. TJ does not have teleport to support, but Whittle Guy looking for a reset, so this will be a safe counter steal from Griff with the Void Grub spawning. So 2 objectives on the map. We will have to watch which side these teams decide to prioritize. And according to the lineups, I would imagine it's going to be bot side, but Dark Jedi does have a lot of power to find and execute and open up things for his team, but we have to fight bottom.
Yeah, and it's another big engage. Cross is in a ton of trouble. Not to bring back my season 1 quote. Kalka now potentially being cut down as well. It looks like it could be a double kill. Will the expunge come through? It's not. It's just one. But we talked about how dangerous this Braum and Twitch bot lane was. Dark Jedi now looking for the solo kill onto Griff. Instead, TJ there to feast his enemy. Whittle is going to try and pick it up. It's a flash in from Clone to try and connect something, and the play goes too long. So, you know, a nice roam over from TJ turns into another kill given over, and so it's 2 for 1 as that goes. A complex series of events there. Ultimately, I think a good play, a good start to that play that ended in... Oh, it's a flash stun from Kalka Crispy, the LCC overstay. You can't do that.
Yep, I was checking in on the rest of the map, and then here we go. Flash
It's
engage from Kalka. The fight just keeps going. 9 and 4. 9 minutes into the game, we have 13 takedowns so far on the board. Void Grub's going over to Little Guy, and in the background as all of this goes down. And oh my goodness, we had a bit of a slow start to the night, but we are ready to rumble here in game.
Yeah, we're ramping up now.
Not even 10 minutes in.
That's actually huge though, because I want to talk about what it means to have Jinx on 3 kills now. Jinx is now online. I know we're 10 minutes in, and she only has you know, a Noon Quiver. She doesn't even have a fully complete item.
Doesn't stop. Palka finding another
Jinx
crash
has
down
3
on the
kills.
Leroy. Clone is here for the follow-up, but a nice light bind stops both.
Incredible double to land both of them. But Crispy's looking for a solo kill here, and this is what Twitch can do. Flash forced out, but he's going to counter flash, and the expunge assassination there from Twitch.
Yep, that collector going to get him started now. 420 on the score. And the Super Mega Death Rocket with Kalka, they have so much potential to just keep... I think they're going to come out and try to go for a counter kill, so we're going to see what happens. But it's a completed item for Crispy on the reset, and then he just goes for the ambush. And then even on the exit, Cross would have been running into Izzy. So good setup, and then look at all the vision in the bot river. I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 wards in the bottom river, including the Tri-Brush.
Yeah, they know that's where the attention is, that's where the gold is. But meanwhile, Whittle and Clone are really pairing up very nicely, proving to be one of the best mid-jungle duos in the LCC so far this season. Kalka here walking forward, does have level 6. They're going to look for a play. Bandage Toss will go just wide. Griff will have a second, but it will not be thrown.
Still trading topside. We don't care about any of that. Let's go look at the actual action as we... Both teams.
I mean, First Dragon is not taken yet, so this would be big. Griff is going to be engaged on here. Izzy is here to try and roam over. There's a Curse to Stab Mummy. Kalka is brought low. Nice winner's bite. Will buy some space as the Glacial Fissure comes through, but I think Izzy might be in trouble here. Getting poked out. Whittle looking to just run this down. They don't know where the Twitch is, but there's the Cataclysm down onto Izzy. No flash for Braum. That will be Braum's death, and with 2 dead, this should be their attention turned onto the Baron. Instead, Crispy instantly opening up, finds an instant double kill back. Twitch now has 6 kills, fully online with the spray and pray.
Griffin
is going to be able to do
down,
that
but
all
they
game.
Do deal damage, and then just running out with Ghost as well, just running out Ghost ambush, and then dropping the spray and pray. It's enough damage to finish it off with the expunge. The Berserkers and the Collector, it's just so much damage over the top all at once in the lineup with the spray and pray. So even though Griff gets caught out as Crispy resets, Crispy able to run out and clean up the play, and now the Dragon's still here. And so we're going to see continued contest over this vision Izzy and Leroy both clearing out some wards. Griff from the top side, halfway back to that Curse of the Sad Mummy. And I also call out Little Guy waiting to the last moment to drop the Cataclysm to make sure that it is necessary, wanting to hold on to it. But those squishies just go down.
Whittle looking for the engage, but Crispy here to protect his jungler. It's a flash out. The bind will land. And Whittle will go down at the end of this. Shutdown goes over 7 kills now onto the Twitch. And he protects his jungler this time. And I was just about to say why this game feels so chaotic is because they're actually not playing together as a team. And for the first time, Crispy teams up with his jungler. And they're going to turn as a team to the objective. There's no jungler for Freljord. Still plenty strong. Level 10. Clone already over the wall. Unending Despair over the wall. Lands onto Braum, onto Izzy. Brought down very low. But they will secure the dragon. Rocket will come across, just miss. And Izzy will be able to escape this play. So, yeah, there it is. That's that coordinated team play for Zon. And they pick up the first neutral objective.
So as we get to 14 minutes, I want you to walk through us these, walk through, as we have just a moment of peace, the gold differences, because we've got 7,900 gold onto Crispy, almost 8,000 gold, but we can look at the gold totals across the top, and there's only a 600 gold difference between these teams, so where is the gold? As Crispy goes for another ambush in the mid lane, forces Flash out of Clone. They drop the laser, spray and pray, not going to be able to find it this time. Whittle is here!
Yeah, and that was, you know, one of those moments where he wanted the kill, he went for the kill, he got the flash, he thought he could get more, and he's going to end up paying for it with his life.
A little bit, one more crit or so, and he might have found it, but takes the tower shot. Whittle Guy comes over with the Cataclysm, cleans the play up, and slows it down again a bit. It was my fault for saying that it was going to be a peaceful moment.
That we had a moment. Dark Jedi under tower looking for the solo kill.
No, I think just being annoying. That was so weird.
Yeah. I mean, I think he was testing out his damage.
He was testing it out. It just spins through. If I was going to test it out, I would spin through and then auto-attack the tower to pick up that plate gold. But, yeah, it's fine. We have Whittle Guy and the Freljord Frost already set up here for the spawn of Rift Herald.
Yeah, attention is going to turn top, and Cross will not be joining this, so this will be the 4 of Frost up here. No answer yet, but potential roam up now from Crispy and Izzy, so we'll have to see if they're able to get here on time, but it looks like the Herald, already brought down to sub 2,000 HP, will be smited away and taken by Freljord.
Stunned up by Kalka, crash down to follow, Clone with the claws
yeah,
out.
Leroy walking in after the objective taken there. Unfortunately, is going to be caught out there. Kalka with a nice little bit of CC under tower, but we'll just be able to stop this, and they're going to instantly use Herald, and they're going to break open mid-tier 1. 16 minutes in, this is a pretty impactful use of Herald in a early point in the game to unlock the map like
game
this.
We've seen all season. There's a gank attempt topside as this all goes down.
Yeah, Crispy looking for the play because he knew that Clone went into the Herald, but in the Cataclysm, nice flash away, does get away from some of that Clone damage, and it is going to be a double kill, so 2 for 2 on that one. Kalka, the support, the only one left. Let's see if Leroy can find anything.
Leroy backing away from the play even though everybody else is down. I think if he just walks forward, gets the auto attack, and then continues the chase, that's a pickup. But gonna invest the laser, it'll be back up soon enough. Not able to pick up the kill on the back end of the fight. This has been so chaotic. There's barely a chance to talk about the fight even before there's another one opening up. Let's check in on our item tiers. There's 2.5 items completed, almost a third for Crispy, but not quite able to finish that yet. A full item advantage over to Clone in the mid lane, 3,000 gold lead there. Top lane, roughly, largely a wash, but Whittle Guy with an 1,800 gold lead. And then AD, supports.
Crispy again, while you're talking, AD onto AD. And Cross just, at this point in the game, cannot walk up mid without vision of where Twitch is. That's just a mistake. You gotta have either a teammate right next to you or vision of where the Twitch is. So Crispy is gonna kill you every day of the week and especially on Thursdays, which is LCC game night. Kalka and Whittle, can they get Izzy on the way back? Decide not to here. I thought that we were going to see more team fighting with these team comps. We've seen skirmish galore, assassination after assassination, fight after fight, but we haven't actually gotten any big team fights yet this game. And I wonder if as we head into the mid to late game, now that we've got 2 items on most of our carries, you think we're going to finally get some team fights?
I think we'll see team fights happen as the game settles into some lane assignments. But as it is, I think the chaos favors Twitch with the ambush, just trying to find people isolated out on the sides. Gank attempt again, top. Grip is here with TJ. First bind yet to come out. Does predict the flash, finds it.
Oh, beautiful bind from, and there's the feast. What a nice play. It's a mind game, right? You know he's going to flash. You know that you have the bandage tossed.
Instant flash.
And it's another one that's ult use. So now there's no ultimate. Cross does not have flash, but their Twitch has no ultimate. And here it is. Curse the Sad Mummy is down onto 2. But Twitch, what is he able to actually do now with no ulti? He will just go down. And it's a clean team fight as 4 for 0, a triple kill to Clone. And the Freljord Frost turn the attention to the Dragon.
Yep, we can look at the scoreboard, and we had 11 kills onto Clone and then 10 onto Crispy, so it's clear where these power points are. Cross starting out completely even with Crispy, trading back and forth, but now Crispy has completely pulled away, is the clear threat on the enemy team, but that also makes him just such a clear target. Picking up his 3rd item now, he's going to be terrifying when he opens up with that ambush spray and pray, and they must lock him down immediately. Unfortunately, a lot of Clone's damage through Hui has to go front to back in order to find that burst, but Whittle Guy has every opportunity with this Jarvan to try to shut that down, but going to really struggle to find the one-shot. I think it's going to be telling when our top laners eventually show up. Crispy has the tower, trying to find damage down on Dark Jedi, but I think, yes, he will be able to just run his little Tukus out of here and survive for another day. We've got both supports showing up on the top side. Cross alone in the mid lane, but should be safe.
TJ is here half health, but wants to try and find this fight. Rupture will land now onto Kalka, and they are going to turn the attention. There is a feast there, and there is a kill. Feast was used, but he didn't actually pick up the stack. It's a 11th kill that goes over to Crispy. So 11 kills onto both Crispy and Locke, and Clone, and they're going to instantly go onto the Baron. This is a crazy play. There's no feast. They do have smite. They're buying time. They see Whittle down here in bot lane. Leroy is going to try and make a play. Here's the flag and drag down, but there's no jungler. Instant teleport in from Clone. TJ already brought very low. There's no feast. Here's Cross trying to find the way. Dark Jedi, the flash into the wall, will not go off, and it's already 1 down. It's already 2 down. Griff now. It's a double kill for Cross. Crispy trying to save the game, but it's a triple kill for the Jinx.
Cross, you cannot do this. Cross, you can't do this, Baron. Cross, you're gonna die. Please, back up. Cross, please. Oh, flash out of Kalka to try to save his AD carry. This is the Baron that does the most damage, so if they keep doing this, he's going to die. But it's so low, they're gonna go for the finish. Now the shield's back off cooldown, and Clone and Cross, they have the damage. They have the tank now. Flash invested out of Kalka to make sure that his AD carry doesn't die.
That was some serious SGI Baron throw.
This is 24-14 on the scoreboard, 21 minutes into the game. It's a bloodbath, and we have not had this much action in Season 5 quite yet, and what a way to hit Week 5. Goodness gracious, this is one to watch for the end of the season. Freljord Frost versus Zon Plague for the run back. Whoever wins, this is going to be an exciting game.
Yeah, you know, I'm actually not a huge fan of that play because they really just threw the dice right there, and this is now borderline insurmountable.
Looking for Crispy, but the ambush procs, and now he's invis and turning around with the spray and pray.
And there's the spray and pray, but look at that return damage, instantly zapped down. And now that Crispy has dropped, there's the Cataclysm in. They're gonna run down. It's a double kill here for Clone as 3 will fall. Only TJ and Leroy will remain.
Crispy, you're huge, but you do want to play with your team. And we're seeing Freljord Frost, I think, really just find the difference maker in that, engaging as a group. And the Zon Plague really falling short in some of these engagements. I think even largely in the top side still, Dark Jedi and TJ have not made much of an impact, except against each other and then this top objectives. And Freljord Frost are locked in right now. They've got Baron, and they're trying to pick up a 3rd tower on the play.
Yeah. The difference this game was how well Freljord played together as a team as the game went on. Whittle and Clone really did team up together very well. They had nice early invade, early pressure that forced Griff and Leroy into bad
There's a deep
situations.
teleport from
And then
TJ
as
in
the game
backside.
has gone on, it's gone better. Okay, 1 for 1. Dark Jedi able to trade one more out. Yeah, this is so scrappy. Fights on either side of this. Griff trying to go forward. Crispy and Griff, the last two remaining
spray and
for
pray,
Zahn.
but
He's
first
gonna
is
leave.
here.
He's gonna leave his little sad mummy. That will be an 8th death for Griff.
So Crispy needs to
As
just go to
the
mid lane and
Freljord
try to clear out these
opens
creep
up a
waves.
10k gold lead here. And this is gonna be another tower, another inhib. And most likely, unless a miracle happens, another win on the board for Freljord. But they look strong, they look good. It's gonna be hard to beat this team.
Yeah, this has just been a breakneck pace, and I think it comes down to like the snap decision making of how do you decide to respond, and then with both teams deciding to respond by just putting on the same pressure to like in both directions. Those small differences can really just break your tempo and then just break the rest of the game for you. Whittle Guy has a GA picked up now, and so able to dive as deep as he wants and then still be able to buy so much time and pressure. Cross has silently been scaling up on this Jinx pick, getting excited and throwing DPS in the team fights. But we have to highlight the amount of burst damage that Clone is putting out and managed to shut down Crispy several times as we have Freljord Frost looking to pick up their second dragon of the game. TJ is inching forward but needs to back away.
And yeah, I don't agree with the pace of the game played here. I think that especially Zahn would have really benefited from playing around their ultimates, lining up their ultimates together, like using their ults to blow flash and then disengaging from the fight and then looking for the next fight when they had ultimates again. Instead, caught out a handful of times, and yeah, just didn't end up able to find winning team fights. They were able to find kills. They got 16 kills as a team, but 14 onto a single person. There's a lot of zeros on in the kill column, and then also the build paths pretty difficult to actually live through these fights at this point, given the itemization. So Freljord definitely in a strong position here, looking to close this one out. They've already got mid lane, they've already got bot lane, and they are now sieging with the last of their. Well, they don't have any Baron. Baron has run out, but
they need Zonplague
the last of their
needs
push
to find a Curse of the Sad Mummy that opens up for Crispy with a spray and pray without him getting one shot. That's their way back into this, and that's the only option really back into this. Spray and pray is the only thing they have to be able to wipe out the enemy team, and it can do it, but they need to find an opening.
And they need it all at the same time. This is going to be 4 across, and that's a really good start, but Cross is still up. It's a triple kill so far for Crispy, and now the GA is coming for Whittle. Whittle, the Cataclysm in, will find the insta shutdown. Crispy, a quadra kill, and Cross is there with a double of his own. So 4 for 4, both AD carries left living. But anytime you're down, we say this time and time again, right? Anytime you're down, an even trade is good. Meanwhile, the Winions in the base, shoving down, taking one of the Nexus towers, nearly taking this second Nexus tower. Look at how low that is.
It's so
18
low.
kills
it's going to,
on the
of
Crispy
course,
is actually insane.
Now that tower is going to regen, so they will get that back up along with the inhibitors. It won't be full HP, but they will have their opportunity to use their towers again. And the full game plan for Zonplague is keep Crispy alive to spray and pray. Because the second I mentioned that, they managed to find a nice opening, but then the GA out of Whittle Guy allows them to turn the fight around and find the even play. But still, when they're defending their base, they're happy that their base still stands. 3 plates left on the top tower. It's going to be difficult trying to build some vision back for themselves. Focusing on the bot side, and we have a Death Bush with 3 up here for the Freljord Frost as the Baron spawns.
Yeah, and it feels so weird that there have only been 3 dragons in this game, but we're only 27 minutes in. We don't usually have 55 kills in 27 minutes. So, this is definitely an abnormal game. And Freljord taking advantage of the style, of the nature of it. Cross and Whittle are going to two-man Baron right now. Teleport in.
from TJ. He will be locked in place.
Oh, stopped?
No, canceled. Saved by Dark Jedi.
Yeah,
the bot side
Dark
of the
Jedi
map.
actually keeps TJ alive. Gives him the buddy emote.
Wayward Frost. You need to haul Dark Jedi out of there. The entire team rotating over to try to shut him down. But now the Zon Plague are on the run. Are going to be collapsed.
Yeah, they can play. They can cut off. Teleport in from Dark Jedi. He's just gonna play with the team. They're gonna look for the end through mid. They have Baron. I think that this is an achievable end. Flash, bandage toss, lands, and that is crossed down. Watch a clone on the back line. The knockup is there. He's the last bit of damage surviving, and there's a kill on Akalka. Leroy is the only damage for Zon. It has to be both of these mages, and it will not be enough. Freljord, that gold lead with Jarvan. It's going to be too much. And that is finally... I can't believe that was a 28-minute game. That felt like an hour.
Yeah,
my goodness.
It's a 20-minute game, and I think we're back on schedule. Hey, what a game. I'm reeling, to be honest. Holy cow. That's a wild one. We're at 8:07. I'm going to go ahead and kick it immediately to our break, and we'll be back momentarily. I need to run to the bathroom, and I think Jax is going to say briefly hi to the Psychotic. We'll be right back with you. Jax isn't quite back yet, but I am, so I'm going to go ahead and jump in. He will catch up with us when he gets back. Holy cow, what a game. I'm going to go ahead and I need to correct some things now for the next lineup. I need to fix, I still have Dale on the roster for Fire Frost. That is no longer Dale, that is Cross. Let's get that saved. And then our next matchup for the evening is Targon versus the Bandle City Bucks. Get Targon. Bucks. Kalka is so hot. God bless. I've heard the same thing from other people. Shout out to Kalka. Good looking. Good looking out. Take this over here on the dress. Accept this invite. Thank you, Inferno. I usually just do this silently, but doing it here live now. Bucks. Jags. Sweet. Alright, I am all prepared for the next game. Let's see. When Jags gets back, we will briefly cover the teams and then really just get immediately into the draft, as our teams are, I'm sure, ready to have their games played. Oh, well. And this will be our featured matchup of the evening, the Targon Titans versus the Bandle City Bucks. I'm excited to get into them. I'm going to go ahead and give our rundown of the roster so that we can get into the draft as soon as Ian gets back, if possible. So, our featured matchup to the evening, Targon Titans 4-0 versus the Bandle City Bucks. Go Bucks, 3-1. I need to disclose my bias. I am a partial owner in the Bucks, so go Bucks, as always. And then the Targon Titans for the evening, they have Frankward in the top lane, Aztec in the jungle, Minty Bun on mid lane, Harley Bay Jepsen on marksman, and the Crimson Yoni on support. This team has seen so much success this season, our only undefeated roster, and looking to keep it that way to finish out the round robin. And of course, the team trying to tear them down from their throne, the Bandle City Bucks, 3-1. Very close on the scoreboard so far. And we have Gemsy in the top lane really showing up this season, but having a bit of a stumble recently, hoping to return to that same form that he found to start us out. Most in the jungle, Hope in the mid lane, Inferno on marksman, and Shadow Kitten on support. Alright. And welcome back, Jags. I've just given our rundown and just covered that we're switching lanes. Are you switching lanes? Don't lie to me. I will check your roles. Only one of each. But welcome back, Jags. We've got, I've gone ahead and give the rundown for both teams since we got everybody in the channel. And, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this has got to be our feature match of the week. I'm sure it is.
Yeah, we got 4 of
and
Targon Titans and the Bucks 3-1 trying to end their streak.
Yeah, this is these two teams and Freljord have so far looked like our strongest teams in the first round robin, and this is a very exciting way to cap this one off. Targon versus Bandle City. So, yeah, pretty excited for how this one goes.
Oh, okay, now I can breathe. Everything updated. We're chilling. Shadow Crash. Shit. Not again.
See how that goes.
Not again.
Yep.
Not again, please.
Oh.
Like Samira.
No, the Samira one was so much worse.
Well, what should I do in the meantime? Should I throw it to highlights, or do we want to talk about these matchups?
Yeah, let's I mean, let's it's the featured match, right? So let's talk about the matchups. Gemsy to Frankward, the top laners.
Yeah, we both got signature picks. I think everybody knows Frankward's going to be Urgot Gangplank. Gemsy, it has so far this season been Riven, but we've seen answers to Riven come out strong. And then it's been Renix and Gragas, I think, have been the other show points there. So who do you give the favorite to?
Yeah, he's picked up Ornn recently as well. I think Frank and Gemsy both had underwhelming seasons last year, and both of them have really stepped it up so far this season. So that's a big reason that their teams have been so successful now. You know, we'll wait to see how the games actually turn out, but It's been fun to watch so far. The jungle matchup, Aztec versus Most. We've got a rookie jungler who's come in and hit the ground running with his play. And then we have a veteran jungler, Aztec. He's a champion of the LCC, no stranger to stage play. Paired with Minty into Hope. This is the Minty or the Hope fan club versus Hope himself. Hope's had a great season so far. A really, honestly, like a renaissance of his play. And then Minty also have really stepped up on the Lux specifically. But both of them comfortable with the Lux and the Ahri. So we'll see what happens in terms of the mid lane picks here. I think usually the draft is focused on top lane for both these teams. So I think mid could be potentially left open. We might get to see Ahri into Lux, for example.
Ahri, Lux, Syndra
then the bot lane
are going to be prio for that lane.
Yeah, Syndra is huge. Yep. And then the bot lanes, Carly and the Crimson Yoni versus Inferno and Shadowkin. Honestly, the Crimson Yoni is one of the most winning. He actually is the most winning player all time in the LCC, and he's probably playing his best season yet right now. So, if I had to vote personally, I know I'm playing support as well, but if I had to vote for all pro support, I would give it to Yoni so far this season. I think he's been playing fantastic. I think Carly is putting up MVP numbers. He looks like the best player in the league right now, and his team trusts him. You can tell that they trust him to carry the game, to win the game, and that's so important. Meanwhile, the other side, Inferno and Shadow, they've surprised a lot of people with how open to brawl in lane they are. So always looking for kills, always looking to fight. And last season, Inferno and Yoni were each other's lane partners. So look for a little bit of an inside twist here between these two teams as we are headed into draft for our featured matchup of week number 5, Targon Titans versus the Vandal City Buckaroos.
The band's coming out immediately. Ahri, Riven, Tristana, all taken away. Tristana, I think this is still being targeted. It's kind of a mid lane ban, but against Carly, it's really a marksman ban.
It's just Carly.
By far and away his best pick.
I mean, Minty's not going to play it, right? So
no, I don't expect Minty to play it, but it would be a powerful flex pick, but it's just already so much of a priority ban. Why would you bother practicing that? And the Xayah taken away from Carly as well, so not wanting to give that feather call, or what is it? It's Feather Storm? What's
the ultimate Feather Storm?
Yeah, Feather Storm to be able to
and then
dodge
Blade Collar.
Dive.
Yep.
And then Poppy knocked away from Most, I imagine.
Okay, so Wukong picked up here, and Wukong, both Aztec and Most played Wukong in wins. Just last week.
It makes sense to me to ban the Poppy if you're intending to pick Wukong first pick. I think that's a counter pick you do not want to have come out, and Moss showed that he knows how to pilot it. And now a switch over to Jarvan, so we're going to have Wukong-Jarvan matchup in the jungle, almost certainly.
Urgot's still up, by the way, so we could see the Frank Urgot selected here, or they might be planning a takeaway or something into it specifically. We have to keep an eye on what happens with Urgot. Anytime that one of the bans that you expect to come through does not, it's definitely worth keeping your eye on what happens next. Rakan here for Shadow. This is a great pickup. Saw him play into Leona, which is very Rakan favored as a Leona counter, but now it's blind this week, so kind of dissuades Yoni from playing Leona. And Yunara is picked here. This might be an LCC first Yunara.
Is it? Where's Bassoon when you need him? Have we had a Yunara before? I think we might have seen it once before.
Yeah.
But I can't really recall the exact game, so can't say
after
for sure.
130 games, they do start to blend.
Yep. After 4. Okay, Ace played it last year. I feel like we've seen a Yunara before. But we have Yunar Lulu. This should be the bot side for Carly and Crimson. How do you think that matchup's going to go?
Aphelios.
The answer, Rakan Aphelios. So jungle bot lane locked in for both teams.
I think Yunar Lulu plays a lot more straightforward than Aphelios Rakan, but Aphelios Rakan played at a high level, does have kill prio, and is the stronger lane. So it's up to Rakan and Aphelios to make the plays, to hit the Gravitum and land the stun with those bullets. But you know, we'll have to see if he's able. Well, watch him just cycle out red early on in the lane phase and get to green purple, and then look for a kill once he has green purple. And you know, they'll be about level 2, level 3. He needs to get through his red gun, the Severum, as soon as possible for this lane. But that's enough about bot lane. We can talk about the mid lane here. More mid bans. So Ari, Lux, Syndra, the ones that we talked about in pregame, they're all banned out. They're all gone. There's
Rather
gonna be
than
something
for
new.
Syndra, much higher prio for Hope, and then Malzahar taken away from Minty on the other side, and then we're going to ban away Mordekaiser from Gemsy. So not wanting to see that one come out. I wonder if that's perhaps going to influence...
Urgot's still left up. I'm just shocked.
Maybe that's. I'm wondering what is the answer that, because
they have to have something, right?
Yeah, they're going to be blind picking their top. They're expecting to do that. So we should see probably Hope pick his mid laner here. Okay.
Okay, Maokai.
Maokai top? This got to be Maokai top for Gemsy, right?
It's certainly not mid. So yes, I would say at this point, although there was a patch where Rakan mid was played, but I don't think that's...
Yeah, it was played. That doesn't mean it was
here.
good. But,
It was
here's the Urgot hover. They decide like it's bait, but we're gonna lock it in. He's worried about the Mordekaiser the most. Ban that away, and now we pick up the Urgot.
But Maokai isn't a good matchup for Urgot. At least it wouldn't make sense to me to be. Maokai traditionally does well into AP matchups, not AD matchups. So Urgot is going to be just fine into Maokai.
Maybe they've
and then
tricked
Orianna
us,
is an answer here. Orianna Wukong, a nice pairing. Not quite as good as Orianna Jarvan, but it's also a good takeaway, to be honest, because Orianna Rakan Jarvan, that's a pretty nasty setup. So
we're gonna go. We got a call for Bell that Gemsy plays Jarvan. I don't really think so.
Aurora.
Ooh, those Aurora mid for Hope. We've seen Hope play Aurora once, I think, on stage, but know that he's piloted the pick before. Mitty Bun picking up Orianna. Blind now playing into Aurora. I don't think she's gonna have a good.
I gotta say, yeah, I gotta say, I'm questioning the solo champs for Vandal City here. I'm not convinced by the Aurora, and I'm definitely not convinced by the Maokai. But that's just my opinion. Let me know what yours is. I've got the prediction up and rolling, so go ahead and throw it in the chat what your prediction is. Who's going to win this game? Is it going to be Vandal City, or is it going to be Targon? Targon looking to push to 5-0, have an undefeated first round robin. Vandal City 3-1, a nice early 3-0 lead, but now they've started to come into the strength of schedule part of their season. Have to play into Targon here. So yeah, I like the Targon setup. I like the Targon team comp. I'm not a huge fan of Urgot, but I love it for Frank. I don't think Urgot does a lot in this team comp, but I love it for Frank. And on the side of Vandal City, I'm asking myself, why not Ornn? Why not, why not something that can build some armor into Wukong, Yunara, Urgot? Like, you knew that it was already Wukong, Yunara. You were predicting an Urgot, at least I was. Why not something that can build some armor? So, I don't know. I'm ready to be proved wrong, but I'm definitely questioning it at the moment. And then Aurora is that's a champ that when she's strong, she's just gonna win the lane and she's gonna find you kills. She's great at skirmishing, great at running down in a long lane. Probably wants to bring Orianna into the side lane and try and run Orianna down, because Orianna is just so much better at team fighting with that shockwave and the shields as well. Orianna, a very strong support and utility mid lane champ. Plenty of damage as well once you get some of the gold rolling, some of the items rolling. So excited to see if Aphelios Rakan is able to kind of stand the test here. Lulu gets a lot of kind of free push, free shielding. So Aphelios Rakan really have to outplay it, really have to play it well. But it is possible for them to deal damage if they know the interactions, if they know the matchup.
Yeah. Anytime that we see Moss on a champion that can get over a wall, we see some wacky pathing. And so I'm going to be watching to see where Moss goes with this Jarvan, and then potentially the level 2 gank. It's always a bit risky to go for a level 2 gank rather than an evade or something that gives you them less visibility on where you go should it not work out.
You're absolutely right.
But
you're absolutely right. And it could be prepared. You know, it could be practiced and prepared. They could be looking bot here onto an early Yunara Lulu level 2 Jarvan gank to get Aphelios a double kill, to get Aphelios ahead. That could be a thought process here. But you got to also be thinking, where's Wukong going to be looking? For me, it's probably top. Maokai, kind of free gold when you've got Urgot Wukong.
I think
that's plenty of damage.
Early gank is terrible. And I really think that Aztec's going to be prioritizing, unless it's an absolutely free walk-up or to save the play, I think Wukong should be completely focused on getting that early clear complete and setting the right tempo for the next clear. But yeah, eyes are definitely going to be on the top lane because I don't think Maokai is going to play well into this Urgot matchup. I think there's a lot of room to play in the mid lane. I think Aurora is pretty annoying, and Orianna has long cooldowns early on, and so has a lot of room to pressure. He has such a silly kit. But I feel like Yunara has an advantage over Aphelios in the early game all-in before 6, don't you think?
I would say it's my understanding that they have fairly similar scaling curves. So they're both going to scale pretty well, and they're both going to, you know, come online with items, not really with levels. So I think that in terms of at least that aspect, if one of them gets ahead, it will be impactful. You know, it's not like a Smolder where if you get ahead of the Smolder, but the game goes to 40 minutes, it doesn't matter because the Smolder comes online. You know, like I think that Yunara and Aphelios are both gonna want the items. They're both gonna want the gold. If Carly's able to get a full item ahead, for example, that could be
if Carly gets a full item
big
ahead,
deal.
It's going to be scary for sure. But Inferno has been on such an upward trend throughout his career in the LCC, and I think we're all looking to see it continue. Inferno starting out inting all of my games in the bot lane, and now showing up in these games and sometimes carrying the game for his team. Like, I'm sorry, Inferno, I can say it now, 2 years in the rearview mirror, you inted a lot of my games. One thing to call out, we have Battle Bunny Aurora facing off into Minty Bunny. So
sure.
That's a fun one.
Sure.
I'm looking for things to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, well, I want to talk about the engage from Bandle City. They've got Maokai, Jarvan, and Rakan. Some of the best engage in the game, all on the same side here. So Yunara and Orianna, neither of them have mobility options. So I expect they will be targeted. And I'm going to fly ahead as far as I can.
Gonna hit plus.
I think I'm live.
Yep, and we're good.
15
Thankfully,
seconds.
Riot didn't do this to us again. Why is it so inconsistent? Riot, small indie company, but we are onto the game for Week 5. Targon Titans versus the Bandle City Bucks. Targon Titans sitting at 4-0 currently, and the Bandle City Bucks at 3-1 throughout the first round robin. We've got a 5-point defense, basically, from both of these teams. But Moss going to spot out Aztec with a little standard, and we'll see how things shake out. Looks like both of our junglers are going to start on the top side of the map.
I'm expecting this Wukong to go to his red and to clear towards top and look for a gank. And then we talked about Jarvan on a 2 or 3 camp clear into early gank, but it does look like Aztec is going to go against what I think you would call conventional wisdom, and he's going to go with a blue side start, a top side start. So we'll try and match the Jarvan in terms of early pathing.
Early trading from Carly and Yoni using that shield. Like, gonna go roughly even at the end of the day.
Yeah, and the Grand Entrance missing. Going straight in onto Carly. Carly is going to use, get a big shield there. I almost said he used Barrier because that shield from Yoni was so big. But it's Barrier from Inferno burnt out and heal already.
Heal,
so definitely the early level 1 going the way of Targon spot side.
We're picking up level 2, trying to find that flip over onto Gen Z, but not able to get anything quite yet. So going to be having a huge amount of wave prio. Ooh, and that's what I was talking about. Aurora has a lot of ability to find those burst trades down onto Orianna when the cooldowns are still longer in the beginning of the game. Orianna not able to find that poke damage, and we have Moss setting up for a gank top.
We talked about it. This is the early gank. Gemzy already brought down to half, but this is a big minion wave to try and fight into, and Gemzy can't do much back. Flag and drag in from Moss will land damage onto Frank, where Gemzy needs to get in and do what little damage he can. It's a flash Bramble Smash out. Frank on the other side of this does have flash. Will he look to fight into it? It's a flash straight into Gemzy. It's a first blood, and he wins the 1v2. Now Moss equal in levels. Frank does not have the mana. Can Moss get in? The shotgun knee, the flash out. And it will be a 1 kill for Frank and the Targon Titans. What a massive outplay for the Urgot here.
Yep, just getting chunked down too early, too low, too early on. Gemzy unable to set up the play, and then at the end...
Here's the root. This is what we talked about. This is the play. So barrier out now from Carly. Okay, they do at least get barrier. All right, sorry. Wasn't as exciting as I thought it was. They
nope, you're fine.
Maybe could have all-ended, but...
But unfortunately, Moss missing a Q on that re-engage finds the knock-up, but the Q does not land, and so missing that damage, Frankward's able to push him off and remains unkilled in the top side. Bax picks up a Cull and Boots. In the second that Moss showed on Vision, Aztec immediately pushing over into his jungle and picking up that blue buff steal, and now going to be trying for some pressure down onto Hope in the mid lane. Spotted out.
Yep, has a level advantage here, level 4 to the level 3 jungle, but Hope is early on the roam. The flag will come out, but the drag doesn't even need to. Meanwhile, Hope going for the assassination on a Minty over the wall will invisible. Is a Nimbus strike in onto Inferno. Inferno flash away. Flag and drag is there. They will find a bit more. There's the root from the Gravitum. One more bit of auto. They need the damage. And it's going to be kill secured by the support. That's not who you want to see it go on to, but Aztec bit a bit more than he could chew off. Sticking around for too long. He got that scuttle, but then had to blow flash and still didn't get out of that fight. I think he'll probably take a look at that.
That's a bit of an LCC
how the heck
overstay.
did I die
he
there?
finds the free steal onto the blue buff after Moss shows himself topside, but then looking for too much, going for the river take as well. Push down, funneled into the bot side for BCB, and unfortunately Targon's bot side was already on the reset, so just left stranded, and will give over a kill to Shadow Kitten.
Yep, so two more Coles bot. Yeah, 3 total in the game. And this, I think, this game is shaping up to be a little bit slower paced than last game. Not a high bar set, but yeah, definitely looking to be that way.
King out on the top
and almost
side, so
level
spot
6.
Moss.
I will say, we were talking about the strength in lane. I do think once Lulu hits level 6, that wild growth is so strong that I'm not sure Rakan and
Aztec immediately in on a dragon. We've seen him do this week after week. Dragon spawns up and he's into it immediately, but there is vision. They saw him walk over, but nobody walking to the dragon to try to contest that quite yet. Frankward trying to find the execute.
Frankward has level 6, so has the level advantage if he can find one extra bit. But honestly, a great job from Gemzy to get an answer back there.
He just stalls it out. The ult doesn't not able to find the damage before the ult times out. And the creep wave smacking down on Frankward. Moss resetting in the tri-brush, and Aztec sneaks this dragon even though he walked through vision to do so.
Yeah, Carly and Yoni positioning really nicely there, using that dragon take announcement to buy themselves some space. Aztec didn't even path over to even really entertain the gank, and yet they positioned as if he potentially was. So a nice heads up play there. Gemzy now has the Nature's Grass, has the ultimate advantage. Could potentially look for a play here. No ultimate, no flash, topside. We'll just get the wave pushed in and look for a reset. Grand Entrance just misses. Meanwhile, topside, we turn our attention. Frank is able to find Gemzy on the reset, and he will find him. It's a solo bolo in the top lane as he gets his second of the match. Grand Entrance bot onto Yoni. Flag and drag from Moss will just go wide. Inferno now under tower. trying to get some bit of damage off, but Carly walking up into a 1v3. They can't turn on this Yunara. Yunara scaled with these with the Q passive. There's the flash out and walking right back in.
Nice
and this is what I talked about last game. These high level carries, they're able to play these flash, these immobile carries and get the most damage out of them. Beautiful flash in order to maximize the damage in that trade. Basically a 1v3 at the end of it, so good play from Carly. What we've come to expect out of him now, his second year in the LCC. No longer a rookie, no longer eligible for Rookie of the Year.
Yep, able to find the escape, but I think really we're just seeing that Most is behind on tempo, it feels like, because the gank it's a good timing. Aztec's not on that side of the map, but at the end of the day, they're just too far from, they're already past the halfway point and not able to find the flag and drag, no CC to speak of to keep them locked down and let them finish the play.
He could have gone for the flash, but he elected not to. And I think that could be beneficial as Gemzy potentially getting pinched here by Frank and Aztec. The flash in from Frank will get the knockup. Ooh, Fear Beyond Death just missing, and the rest of the Bucks are here to try and answer this. So that's flash ult out, but flash ult used top and Cyclone from Wukong used as well. So nice outplay from Gemzy to actually get away from that.
Yep, Gemzy bailed out in a 1v2 position, burns flash to do so, but really thanks to Shadow Kitten on the early roam up, and now Inferno needs to gather all of the CS that he can in the bot side as the Rift or the Kevins are picked up by the side of, by the Bucks. Why can I never remember what they're called? I think it's just because they keep giving Voids different names.
Yeah.
Like Void Spawn, Void Grubs,
Yeah.
the Scuttle, the
There's
Rift
always
Herald.
something.
Too many things.
All right, about a 1k gold lead here. If we check out where it's spread out, it's pretty much all in top lane. So looking like a rough match for Maokai, but this is kind of exactly how I thought this lane would go.
Yep, it looks like
And
we're
there's
rushing an
not
Imperial
much that he can even do.
for Gemzy, so it's going to be a supportive Maokai, but I really think, like, you're kind of going to want to tank Maokai, but your tank Maokai is not going to be able to lane. So it's a rough spot to be in on this Maokai pick. I'm questioning how the draft is intended to work out, but I don't think it's working as intended at the moment.
I will say, the Nature's Grasp will give them that engage that they're looking for, so that ultimate has to come in handy later on in the game.
Absolutely. We just got to get to later in the game to make that happen, and Hope is level 9 to level
Frank
8
looking for another
bunny,
engage here. 2 levels up. Meanwhile, we turn our attention bot side. Aztec engaging now onto Shadow and Inferno. They will manage to escape, but ever present, this jungler. Fear Beyond Death will land, and it's another solo kill for Frank in the top lane. Solo bolo.
Shadow Kitten.
It's inevitable.
Can smell the desire to go for a grand entrance, but these bot lanes are a little bit wary now. There's more damage on these 80 carries. Ooh, okay, 10 minutes into the game, 18 seconds to the next dragon spawn. We know Aztec is going to be looking for it. 5 minutes in the last, I think, 3 games he's played. He's been at the dragon trying to take that up. Solos it out in this week and last week, and now
look at all this. Look at all these people
the
bot.
Tri-brush. We've got
Maybe 7
Lost
people
here.
bot. Flash engage onto Carly, but it will miss. Here is the quickness in, but look, Aztec is there to answer. Shadow able to get out. Brought very low, but did not go down. Most as well, able to escape just on the edge, and Hope was there at the perfect time. It's a triple kill for the mid laner of the Buckaroos, and they turn momentum back into their favor. They're going to turn their attention to the Dragon, and what a massive swing for Bandle City. Shockwave lands onto Shadow, but it's only onto one, and Shadow will escape. And what a play for the Bucks.
Reach. But yeah, everything was set up for Targon. They were so ready for that play to happen. They pre-pinked that Tri-brush. Aztec was sitting behind the wall. He had Cyclone available. They thought that they were going to be able to take that team fight. But then Hope, with the early collapse, beats Minty to the punch on the rotation over. And then I think even without the rotation over, the Bucks just had the better end of the play. Checking on our gold totals now. We have 400 gold lead over to Carly, I think largely just off of the CS difference, since there's 3 assists over to the side of Inferno. In the mid lane, it's a 1500 gold lead over to Hope on the Aurora, 3-0 on the pick, so that with a CS lead, so that adds up. And we can look at the Canyon that has developed in the top side. 5,000 gold to the 2,700 for Gemsy. 0-3 to 3-0 and doubling the CS practically. Still trying to search for that Imperial Mandate, and it truly is going to be a utility-focused build on the top side. Engage jungle.
Lost able to smite that one, but he just went too early. And Aztec able to pick it up despite the smite going down. So, little jungle test. But Inferno now separated from his carry, and it's going to be an instant follow flash from Carly as he tries to get away, but no respect. And Carly now diving in, decides he wants more blood. One isn't enough. Shadow gonna go for the quickness. The flag and drag now onto Carly. Here's the wild growth. They will find the big knockup. They need to get this damage before he finds more. It's a double kill. And so at the end, an overstep for Yoni and Carly as they found Inferno. They wanted more. Do we call that an LCC overstay?
I think I'm just impressed. It's week over week we see that Carly Bay Jepsen has the eyes of a solo queue monster killer.
Oh,
the second Fear Beyond Death connecting, Gemsy going to die again, so now dropping to 0-4.
Bolo in the top lane.
Yeah, solo Bolo. I'm not gonna. It's starting to become expected. Imperial Mandate does get completed, but anytime there is a separation from you and your support, Carly is gonna flash on you. That's why you ban out to Tristana, so you can't have it just be a rocket jump. But that's the exact playstyle. Identifying the Shadow Kitten uses the Grand Entrance over the wall into the Dragon Pit, and then instantly chasing down onto Inferno as for the 2v1. And then really to the credit of BCB to try to extend that play into the Tri-Brush, and they managed to find the cleanup.
So we are about to hit 14 minutes here, which is our kind of barometer for how the lanes are going. Looks like a nice big gap in mid for Hope, but decent sized gaps and bot and top. So look at all of the attention. Frank down here, bot side, and Inferno does not have flash. It's going to be quickness in from Shadow. The teleport in from Gemsy. This could be his own death. I'm not sure how he gets out of this one. Instant flash out. He would be on death
just coming up and goes wide. Not going to connect on a Shadow Kitten. So the second it comes up, Frank, we're looking for that execute. Not going to find it.
Yeah, and so they escape. That's teleport flash instantly, but now Inferno looking for the 1v1 into Carly, but he's fighting into a minion wave, rooted under tower. You can't forget the rest of the team is there too. Nature's Grasp from Gemsy just going wide, will not find Aztec. Bramble Smash will miss as well, and now he's baiting straight into Hope, obliterated. And the Wukong will visit Gray Screen as well. So both Aztec and Inferno, your old teammates on Team Bell, will take a little time out together.
Wish I had a soundboard for the bell. Hope and Shadow Kitten
pretty strong now at 4-0. I really like to see him bouncing back. He had a really rough game last week, and he is clearly back in his element here. 4 kills already. What a nice engage there from the Rakan, and that's what we talked about. That engage from Jarvan and Rakan. They team up, and they find Frank. That's his first death. Hope looking for the assassination over the wall. He didn't know that Yoni and Carly would be there too. Minty able to live that out for a while, but will go down at the end of it now. Carly goes down. It's an ace. It's a clean ace as all 5 drop, and the Bandle City Buckaroos fight together.
They find one early pickup, and then they close the trap on the rest of the team. Aztec goes down, and then immediately over the wall to chase down Mint. And it's just Hope continuing to push this advantage on the Aurora. 6-0 now after that play, and even though Most was struggling to find impact on these early ganks, and managing to find so much success in these skirmish and team fights. Teleport in mid, they could find a kill here on the Minty, but gonna be chunked out, unable to find the full kill. Carly's in.
Yeah, Carly straight in onto Inferno. Hope is going to have to flash out. Most is there. Flag and Drag will land, but there's no flash, there's no Cataclysm, no way out. And Carly will pick up a kill. Only a second of the match.
That was so funny. The Rift Herald through. And then I
That
understand
was,
using the flag and drag to knock them up, but should have used it for the escape, but just, oh my goodness, the Rift Herald is so funny. Quickest down onto 3,
Oh,
and holy shit!
God,
It's a triple
kill. Whoa, that was insane.
That was insane. I want to cut to I'm going to cut to... We got time. I want to see it happen again. Oh my goodness. That was crazy. Triple kill. I'm going to zoom us back to live. Holy cow. This is a high kill week, Jags.
I know.
Oh my
I'm worried
goodness.
about what that means for next game.
Yeah, it means
right.
you're going to get 9 kills, right?
Uh-huh.
Frankfurt still is a menace
mid
on
goes
this Urgot
down.
pick, but Hope is now the one to watch out for as Inferno waits in the wings to throw his hyper carry power.
There's
and they're
the
going
slow
for the chase
flash for flash. That's another Yunara flash though, and at this point, that Yunara needs to, needs to play these team fights in a way that they can, win. They haven't lost a game all season. This is, they're at a point down 2.5k gold, just under.
I think they're feeling the
they're
pressure.
at jeopardy here.
Yeah, they have complete vision and knowledge on where Targon are at the moment, so it's just a bit of a lull state for both teams. They have complete information to make decisions as necessary. The Bucks walking back out, and Targon just need to shove out their creeps and establish their vision line as we have 3.5 minutes to the next dragon, but Baron is spawning in 2. And we've seen so many early Barons recently that I'm just going to go ahead and call it out that it is coming up on the map. But I think this is a BCB's time to use that Nature's Grasp and try to set up some plays. I think Targon want to let things settle back down into lanes for a little longer.
Another invade happening, and Most is going to steal away another camp here. So he was struggling at the start to find tempo. Aztec had the early tempo, but definitely has an advantage here and is just going to take the portal out.
It's a clean
the advantage
heist
of a Hextech map.
Yep, I think Targon really want things to settle back down into lanes, and I think BCB want to continue skirmishing and team fighting. And it looks like they're playing strong for the bottom side of the map. I have 6 wards past their river or inside it, and Targon have concentrated their power up to the top side. Aztec is on vision, and Most is matching him as Shadow Kitten moves to support as well.
Yeah, we have 2.5 minutes until the next dragon. And I do think that Targon should slow things down, and they should fight at in 2.5 minutes. They need to let Carly's flash cooldown come back. They need to try and find a way back to the front to backs. They have Orianna Shockwave. They have great engage from Wukong if they can find it. Instead they're letting themselves be engaged upon. Now it's very difficult to get away from a Jarvan and a Rakan and a Maokai. But that's what they need to do right now. They need to just slow down a little bit and get to this next dragon fight. Have all their ultimates, use them together. That's when they're most powerful. And this Urgot is still a massive problem. There's no answer so far. I actually wouldn't mind to see them trade lanes and for Frank to go bot here and match
so
into...
Moss coming through the Hex portal.
Yeah, Moss is looking to stop this. Forces flash out for Minty, but Minty did the right thing. Flashed away and will survive. Meanwhile, the rest of the team is potentially here on the hunt. Aztec ahead of his team.
Way too far ahead to look for the engage. Needs to find. They need to have that Gigantify. That Wild Growth is one of the best disengage tools in the game. Best peel options. And so it can either go to enhance the Cyclone, because then you get 3 total knockups. Cyclone, Wild Growth, Cyclone. Or it can go towards Carly to try to keep him standing.
I think you got to put it onto Carly because you have to assume that one of the 3 engage from Vandal City is going to be coming for your all-star AD carry.
I think they need to find a pick onto Hope at some point if they can do so. There's only the Flash defensive summoner. It's coming back up, but if they could knock that Medjai's off,
Hope's atomization.
4th Medjai's, I believe, is. I don't think we got one last week. So this is the 4th Medjai's pickup this season for Hope. He's really
confident pick here.
Yep. And one thing to also highlight is Minty on a scaling build. We've got the cooldown, those Lucidity boots, and then 323 stacks right now on the tier, trying to finish that.
No answer into Frank. Frank is going to reset instead of continue to push. He must have an item breakpoint here. He only has 2
No,
items. He doesn't have components.
Finished all of his last back was
Okay,
a
so
perfect back.
he's staying top. So a bit of a mistake there in communication. Looks like they weren't clear on what they wanted to do. But now pushing top, he does have teleport. He can come to this fight. He's getting a lot of this tower. So Vandal City is forced under pressure here to make a quick decision. Gemsy not here to answer. That's really the only way. And they can just give this dragon. This is only their 2nd dragon. And that's what they end up deciding to do. So buying a little bit more time.
So
Using a lot under tower. It's flash for flash as both supports will flash. But the ultimate, the quickness used for Shadow as well. So it's going to be a dragon. There's the flag and drag from Moss. Will just miss onto Aztec. Hope is here. Shockwave just misses from Minty. And now the call has to be out. They cannot take this fight. Teleport in from Frank. They wanted to take the fight. They wanted that shockwave to land, but it just missed.
Beyond Worlds is Between Worlds is on cooldown here, so Hope's biggest AoE tool for these fights is down, but will chunk Yoni hard.
Frank on the side, looking to pinch in. Can they find the slow? It's Inferno under tower. Nice Cyclone from Aztec, but Aztec will be instantly evaporated. Another flash forward from Carly as he looks to make the play himself, but he's locked up under tower. It's a double kill for Hope, and the hunt is on. 3 down already. The Cataclysm in. Minty, the next. A triple kill. Frank, the last one remaining. A quadra kill, and an ace for the Vandal City Buckaroos.
There's definitely an opening. Some cooldowns have been burned, but they are losing every team fight. I really want to see Targon try to switch to finding some skirmishes where Hope's not there, or a pick to open themselves up. As it stands, the Nature's Grasp is one of the strongest under tower abilities for the counter, and it just doesn't go their way. Carly is opening up, dealing tons of damage in the backline, and then pushes through into the enemy, onto the enemy backline before the rest of the fight has been cleaned up, and they just take him out and then turn. Seraph's completed stacking now for Minty. Trying to find that 2nd item tier, almost on 3 items for Carly off of all of these kills. Inferno, though, has 11 takedowns, and we cannot ignore the Aurora with 13-0-4.
Targon straight to Baron, so this is straight off of tempo. They saw that they stayed, and they took that mid-tier 3, which is a potential. You could evaluate that as an overstay. And so they're going to go on tempo straight to the Baron. It's already down to sub 8,000 HP. They will just burn this. Teleport in from Minty. Pings to the fight. We could get a big fight here. Baron, 1500 HP. There's no smite contest. It is secured for Targon. Grand entrance now onto Minty. The quickness will find the Orianna. Orianna does have Shockwave. They do not go further.
To try to hit the pit. No longer available. Aztec caught.
Gemsy finds Aztec over the wall. Obliterated by Aurora. And now the Cataclysm in onto Carly. The Moonlight Vigil lands is a triple kill already. I didn't even. How did Yoni even die? I knew Carly was gonna die, but how did Yoni die? That was just accidental damage coming through.
25 stacks onto the Aurora, and the end of the play, they pick up the Baron, but they're going to give 3 of them back away. It's going to help them defend for sure. But BCB just managed to close the trap. Shadow Kitten with a nice quickness and grand entrance to hold them down, and the Cataclysm from Moss to find the rest of the triple kill on the backside.
Yeah, really sneaky find there. Did not have to flash either, just able to land a natural flag and drag Cataclysm in onto Carly, and that definitely secured it finally. And then Inferno with a well-placed Moonlight Vigil as well. Doesn't show up on the kill board when you've got a 25 stack mid laner. They're gonna do a lot of damage, take a lot of kills, but you know,
it does not show up on the kill board.
Those are the things we see.
But a shout out to the timing on that tempo Baron. I think is a great pickup, but just not quite able to get out of dodge fast enough on the end of the play, and then separating out. Aztec gets caught before they are completely separate from the rest of the team.
That's the thing, is I think they were out, but then they didn't give up Aztec, and instead they tried to take the fight. Meanwhile, mid, Carly finds one of his own. Huge. A little bit of an LCC overstay. Most should have enough damage here. The polymorph in, big polymorph, but Hope has arrived and will turn. Shows up, gets an instant triple kill before the Nature's Grasp can even arrive. 19-0-4 on the Aurora. One of the most fed games we have seen in the LCC for a single player, but it's still a close game. It's only 4K gold lead. It's just all on Hope. Now he's going to look to kill Frank here. Ignite going down. donates this one over to his jungler.
Yep, the poor 7-1 and 13 Jungle Jarvan, just barely
26 kills
scraping his
between the two of them.
bootstraps up off the ground. Let's take a look at our gold. 12,600 gold and 15,300 gold for Most and Hope. Who else is close?
But 12,600 gold for Yunara and Carly as well.
Yep,
almost 12,000 for Frank. So there is some gold on the side of Targon, but it does feel like the way that the wins are coming in and pushing does feel like the game is slowly going towards the way of Vandal City. Targon doesn't seem to have an answer for Aurora, and they're gonna need to find a play onto Aurora in order to actually win any further team fights. I don't think
Seeker's Arm Guard.
I think you can leave Aphelios.
You definitely can for now. It just needs to. Carly needs to have an angle to be able to hit onto Hope. So Hope needs to burn Invis and then be immediately eviscerated by Targon.
3 levels up, Frank looking for the play, but Hope is here to protect his top laner. They're going to look for this play. Can they find something on Hope? Flash in. Cyclone there onto Hope. That's what we were talking about. There it is. About
1,100 gold
but it's
over
4
on
ultimates.
The Orianna.
It's 4 ultimates used for Targon. Well, there's nothing up. There's no Baron.
Exactly.
There's no Dragon.
It's just a gold swing, plain and simple. Hope caught out on the... Frank, I thought was going to go down in that play, but it's an immediate answer from Targon to rotate over, and they managed to find that pickup onto Hope, which is exactly what they needed. 10 stacks knocked off by Edge Eyes, and 1,100 gold.
I see he's got Flash now. Did he have Flash? Because if so, he's going to be regretting that one for sure. Gemsy now, Twist Advance in onto Frank. Will Bramble Smash and Flash his way out of that one, so he will escape, but at the cost of his Summoner spell. Moonlight Vigil down onto Carly. Will the root come through? Gemsy is going to find the Twist Advantage. Instant Cataclysm down onto Carly. Carly flashes, but he's still into the wall. So he will go down. Nearly finds enough damage onto Gemsy. Instead, Gemsy, nice big heal here. And Inferno now starting to scale. Does have 2 full items. Aztec will go down for an 8th time. So both Carly and Aztec dying for an 8th time this match. 12 to 29.
Run away on the Urgot, chased down by Most, but only Aztec will die at the end of the play. And yeah, that unfortunate flash from Carly, I think the Cataclysm just spacing him out from the wall a little bit too far and not able to get over the wall. Okay, so this is the tempo for a long time was BCB just winning every single team fight, and they were taking the map by storm. It has settled down a little bit now. It's 12 to 29 on the scoreboard, but it's only a 4,000 gold difference and 1 tower between the two. There are 5 dragons taken so far at 29 minutes into the game, and it's 22 seconds to Baron.
It's just whether or not they can kill Hope. I'm not convinced that if Hope plays with this team, they can. And so they are just going to group up now. We see another nice assignment here as Frank is going to push in bot side, and he's going to force an answer. And so they are going to have to turn. Vandal City is going to have to go straight in onto the Baron as it spawns, but they do turn their attention. Shadow is the one to reset, actually. So Rakan on the reset, and they are giving the Baron. It's a straight push mid, so they know that this will be uncontested. Baron taken. They don't decide to stick around for the mid tier 2. So Frankwood is going to back up as well.
Just try to cover his back up. But it is just
so
giving away the Baron.
And they give
They're going to have to try to turtle. Candy for Kern and a it looks like a I can't think of the name. No, two magic resist items coming in now for Frankward. So he's going to be much harder to pick out in these fights, but Hope is still going to be able to one-shot largely Minty and Carly. The completed Seraphs and the Seeker's Arm Guard are going to make it much easier for Minty to survive, but this is not a high-damage build. Carly could have caught out Shadow Kitten here, but the Grand Entrance will get him get Shadow Kitten out over the wall.
Yeah, it's Targon needs to turtle and find the perfect team fight. They need to find the Cyclone into Shockwave combo that collects Most and Hope at the same time. If they do that, then they can push through. But meanwhile, Most and Hope looking
Hope's
to
jumping over the wall.
continue the momentum. Yeah, he's looking for the play here. He is going to go in. He's kind of alone, and the shockwave will come through. It goes 2 for 2, and that is super worth. Meanwhile, Frank not here, not teleporting into this fight. Minty trying to buy space. Aztec will go down because Most is now here. So Most still has plenty of damage. They can chase Minty down if they want to, but they do have Baron.
Minty on the run.
So they're just going to
gotta
look
for
to try and find a way.
back to base to defend.
Yeah, teleport away will get out. Cancelable by Rakan, but and Moss is going to reset. So some interesting macro decisions happening here. Inferno is staying. Frank now in a 2 versus 1 into Most and Shadow. Did get top lane inhib against the team with Baron. The team with Baron has yet to actually crack the base open, but they are going to find a kill onto Urgot. Although, goodness knows it takes long enough.
Yep, all of that itemization down into MR does not help him at all into Moss and Shadow Kitten. And Hope is so far ahead that kill also gave 1,100 gold over to Minty. So I'm going to check over at the gold difference. It's still a 6,000 gold lead in the mid lane across the two, as this is now Dragon's Soul being hit up by the Bucks. So forget about the gold totals. We need to look at this Dragon.
Yeah, and this is a big one. So they can't just give this one up, but they don't have an ability to contest, and it will be Dragon's Soul secured for the Buckaroos here. 33 kills at 33 minutes. They are at that 1 per minute pace. Testing my my voice here, first week back.
You're doing great, Jax. Have a sip of water.
Yeah, it's not like I was gone on vacation. I was at a wedding, screaming over the music, socializing. My voice was used.
I was at Chaffle's birthday over the weekend.
Oh, nice. Happy birthday. Alright, back to business. So, Bandle City has big advantages on 2 of their players, but as a team, it's a small gold lead, 2.5k gold at 35 minutes. They have not actually cracked the base open yet. That mid inhib is bare. It is staring down the barrel. However, top inhib for Targon successfully taken. And Inferno separated from his team here and doing a little bit of split push 80 carry.
Just gathering that gold because there's nothing to fight for. So if they don't try to like force out some picks, it's just really wave management. But one thing to point out is that Hope is on 6 items and has been on 6 items and is currently sitting on 1,000
looking
gold.
To assassinate here. Gemsy is looking for an engage, trying to find a way in.
So if this game continues...
Okay, Moss into Frank in the 1v1. I'm not sure how this one goes. Inferno is here in the wings waiting, so might be able to find a way in. Cataclysm down in onto the Urgot, and here is the backup. Look at the shred come through. That Lord Doms.
That was investing into a Randuin's Omen now, but completely purchased Magic Resist up till this point. Hope just the menace so far. But Inferno is coming online, 3.5 items, still behind Carly Bay on the total damage output. But the game is going to continue to scale for everybody except Hope right now. Hope and Moss we can call out, who's also sitting on 6 items. So everybody else is going to continue to get closer to them as the game goes on. The Dragon's Soul is going to provide some stats that we can't see on the scoreboard, so that brings it further apart than it really is.
I have a niche question for you. As we have a pause, so this is actually a good time to ask this question, and we will figure out what's going on with the pause if we are... approach. Looks like we have a technical issue for the Bandle City Buckaroos.
Well,
so we are awaiting that.
Ooh, I wonder if that's why he's 0-6. Is that too far? I feel like I can give Minty a bit of a hard time. Love you, Minty. Sorry, not Minty. Gemsy. Wrong one.
My question is, at this point in the game when you are full build, when do you sell Mejai's? He has 15 stacks on it right now.
If you ever drop below 10 stacks and you can buy a different item, you sell it.
Okay,
Since we're on a
so
pause, we can look at it right now, but it's 5 AP per stack. And so, but you don't get the 10% move speed unless you are at 10 or higher. So if Hope dies again, it's a sell and buy something else angle because he's at 1600 gold. He's going to get 1,000 gold from that. And so he'll have, if just in a
but
moment, he'll
but
be
if
able
he
to buy
keeps
full
it
buy.
stacked, and we are back live, but if he, so you're saying if he keeps it stacked, then you just keep it forever?
Yeah, if you are at max stacks, it's a very efficient item. Post pause pause. Everybody calm down. It's fine.
But my point is, it doesn't need to be efficient because you have so much gold, right? Like you just buy whatever the best item is.
Yes, but it is such a huge amount of AP, and his purpose in this team fight is to come in late and one shot. It's not to open up the
Okay.
initiation, and so I think
Yeah.
having that raw damage and that movement speed is actually really valuable on its own. Because what would I pick up instead? It's really like a Void Staff or a Banshee's Veil. And both of those are going to provide not as much damage or mobility, but if he can keep the stacks up, it's a huge amount of burst. Set it,
I mean, a void
BCB
staff
just
into this
deciding that the
Urgot could
Baron,
be
it could be, but his
beneficial.
job
But
isn't to kill
yeah,
Frankie.
I
That's
see.
Inferno.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, and so yeah, that was kind of my question. Death Bush activated here on the Banana Brush, but Gemsy is left out, so now they're gonna have to come around and try and answer this. Hope goes invis, goes for the play. Yoni will go down. It's the Flash Cataclysm in from Moss, but Carly will escape. Shadow now. The quickness lands. Carly killed. It's a double kill already. Frankward trying to buy the space, trying to buy the time. Minty goes golden, but the rest of his team eviscerated before his eyes. It's a clean ace for the Bandle City Buckaroos, and they will push down mid, and this will be the end of the game. What
And
a
the
great...
end of Targon's win streak, 4-0. They will be
Yeah.
brought low, 4-1, and BCB tie them for first place.
Tied for
in the
first.
round robin.
So yeah, we have a rock paper scissors situation between Freljord, Bandle City, and Targon for top of the league.
Yeah, they stalled out for a while, 37 minutes to get the finish, but the Bucks managed to take it home and claw Targon down from on high.
All right, great game. Was fun to watch.
Definitely was something, but
I gotta say, I've seen a lot of surprising things in the LCC, but that triple kill that Hope did in bot side jungle in the southern jungle, that was that was the most disgusting insta I've ever seen. So
Bassoon timed out disconnected ace for 600 seconds. What happened here? Is Bassoon abusing power? What just happened? And unfortunately, no, I need to reconfigure the pause. But we will get that back to you. I promise. Bassoon power tripping indeed. What happened? What did Ace say? Is Ace giving spoilers again? That could be it.
all right, well, I play in the next game, so we're gonna bring Kalka on to cast our next game. So be nice to him. GG's, and yeah, hopefully we can put a good game on.
All right, I'm gonna throw it to a break, and I'll be back to you with Kalka. See you soon.
Standing in the hallway, I know you know what I'm about to tell you. I've just realized that you can't let go. It's something about me and you. So let me stay here a little while. crazy Monday. I know it shows that I'm a little nervous. I just realized that I can't let go. There's something about me and you. So let me stay here a little while. At least until I calm down.
Yes. All right, Kalka and I are here. The lobby is trying to sabotage us, so the order
Crazy.
is going to be a little bit wrong, but the roles are all going to be correct. Everybody just accept that.
I think as long as everyone has the correct roles selected, it corrects itself in the champion select. So it just looks weird to us right now.
I hope so,
but,
but I'm going to throw it to
yeah.
the presentation. We're going to quickly cover what's going on.
Yep.
That was weird. Chopples was just bouncing around to everywhere. But we've got Bullets versus Scorch for you here. Both teams at the bottom of the standings, 1 and 3, and trying to change their fate. For the Bilgewater Bullets, we have Frost-Eyed in the top lane, Bomb Man in the jungle, Spike in the mid lane, Bell on Marksman, and Jags tagging out from the cast to be the support for the Bullets. Give me the rundown for the Scorch, Mr. Kalka.
Well, we have a bit of an emergency short-term contract situation. We've got Orcas subbing in for Demi. However, I believe he will be playing top lane according to the role he currently has selected here. So, not sure if the chart's properly reflected, but we do have
on support.
Yeah,
yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yep. So we have Orcas top lane, penultimately in the jungle, Blade mid lane, Agateo ADC, and Choffles moving to support for this game.
Which is going to look really weird to the LCC, but Choffles and Agateo play bot lane duo together pretty often. So they're going to be comfortable with this, even though this is definitely an off role for Choffles.
Yep, and then I've heard of Orcas, but haven't been able to see him play. But perhaps you could enlighten me a little bit on this short-term contract we have.
Yep. So Zon Orcas, formerly a Zon Plague member, and still carrying the name to match. Orcas, I would say, is a bruiser lane-focused player who plays a lot of solo QS style matchups. When I think of Orcas in the top lane, I'm thinking of Garen. I'm thinking of bruisers for the most part. I'm trying to recall what the rest... we could pull up the LCC website, and we could check what his stats are. Who's he played?
Ooh, okay. All right, yeah. I'll bring that up while we get into draft here. Right away, we see Vayne take it away from Agateo. Definitely his signature pick. Makes sense to me. Maybe if I show... Okay.
So,
there he is.
Match history for Orcas in the top lane shows Trundle, Volibear, Alawi, Poppy, Mordekaiser, Nasus, Cho'Gath. So definitely a mixed bag. But Trundle just got off this patch, so that's definitely one we can watch out for. And then the Volibear is, I think, his most successful pick for consistency, but the max we have on any champion is 2 games.
Yep. Bit of a journeyman top laner, seems.
8 KDA on that game.
Very nice. So, yep, there we see Bullets targeting Agateo a bit more with the Kaisa, while the Scorch decide to focus their bans on Spike by taking away the Akali and Syndra, and they'll round it out with an Alawi ban. And as you pointed out, Alawi, one of Orca's picks. So let's see how the Bullets decide to open it up with blue.
Yep.
There's the Thresh for Jags, his signature pick. I like the pick right here. Good opener. How will Scorch respond? With their own support pick, it seems, Leona. I think it's actually a bit of a self-counter pick because the Thresh-Leona interaction, to my knowledge, is that if Thresh can buffer his Flay correctly, he can interrupt Leona's Zenith Blade. But there's the Tristana for Agateo. Leona and Tristana, a very strong 2v2 in the bot lane. High kill threat in the early levels. Let's see how the Bullets decide to match up against that. What will they pair with this Thresh? And it looks like they want the Sejuani for Bomb Man. He's looked good on it.
We've already seen... It's common that we'll have... both the bot lanes and the jungles locked in together in the top half and then have to deal with the solo lanes, but it's always a little bit risky because you could have your preferred picks banned out. We have Melhover here. This could be a bot lane mage, but I would say likely to go over to Spike in the mid lane, and so they're avoiding the second round of bans, but This remains as a flex pick. I'm not familiar with Spike's experience on Mel.
Yeah. Also, I'm trying to think. Mel blind into what Blade could have, or how Mel fares into Tristana Leona. I think with
Tristana
Mel's
also
ability to
could be a
play
flex,
pretty safe. True.
But
Not sure if Blade's
given the
played
team,
it, but
I
is
would
playable.
expect Agateo to play it.
Yes, I agree. But there we have Set locked in, and normally with Choffles in the top lane, I would say that's going to him, but he's playing support, and let's see.
So this should be
Set was
locking
not in
the,
Orca's history, but
it's not
he
in the
could
history,
still play
but
it.
it's definitely in the archetype, and he's got the energy for
Yeah.
it. I think we're going to see some haymakers in the top side, and potentially a missed ban. Oh god, man, that
Ooh,
was a
they get it
long
last
0
second.
seconds. That's a long 0 seconds.
Yeah. So a Shyvana ban. Now, last week I didn't particularly like the Shyvana mid pick, and I don't think it's something they'll try again. So I'm not too big of a fan of the Shyvana ban here, because they had already locked Sejuani, and so it would maybe be a top lane pick for Frosttide. But Vygar taken away from Blade.
Rough early game for that one, but really playing into the utility aspect, and then highlight play for the chase down to end the game from Blade. And also just highlight Blade. Standout performances so far this season. Blade has been finding a lot of success.
Yeah, definitely a main contributor to his team's win last week on that Vygar pick.
Just
So
a
it makes
call out
sense to
from
take it
the
away.
Sim in the chat. Gonna have to see if Spike on the Mel pulls himself into the enemy team with with the Zenith Blade.
Yeah, currently there's nothing for Mel to reflect outside of a well-timed reflect on the Tristana ult, but I'm leaning towards this being a bot lane Mel simply because it lets Jags roam on this Thresh pick, and Mel can just perma wave clear, sit really far back, and not get dove by the Tristana Leona. So I would favor this Mel in the bot lane right now. But I see Lilia, and she is locked in, so that's going to be Penultimately's pick. First time we'll be seeing this from her. I think? Did she play in playoffs last year? I can't remember. Let me pull up her profile, if it's on there.
Lilia?
Penultimately.
Yes.
Yeah, Lilia.
That was
She did,
where
okay.
penultimately joined the league, and then penultimately Trish went to 5 games in her first time on stage.
Yes, okay.
But I don't know if it was playing Lilia, but she did play in the playoffs.
Now, here's a Yunara pick, which, to the average person, you might think, oh, well, yes, that solidifies Mel mid lane and Yunara bot lane. Nay.
Oh,
Yunara is one of
great
Spike's. Yunara is one of Spike's preferred ADCs that he plays, so he could definitely take that mid lane.
curious. And the Trundle buffs,
And-
like I mentioned, for the top side.
Yeah.
So this is also a takeaway. Well, it's we have Set already locked in, so it's not a takeaway really, but a counter pick coming out for the Trundle into Set, and Trundle buffed into the late game. So side lane late game Trundle is going to be terrifying.
Yeah. And also, it makes the Leona very weak in those team fights, because if Leona procs the Aftershock, has her W on, and Trundle presses R,
Get subjugated.
that Leona gets evaporated, and then Trundle gets all those stats that Leona just gained for herself. And there's Malzahar, which I would like into Yunara, because the Yunara wants to kind of jump in, get aggressive, and Malzahar can just press R and say no. So let's see how long they keep these picks here. They currently have Mel going mid and Yunara bot. Are they going to make me look like a fool? Or are they going to swap last second? We'll have to wait and see.
See some last second swapping. 25 seconds.
Oh, and there it is.
And here we go. Bell taking the Mel to the bot side. I've heard some musings in the rumor mill that this should be the angle potentially for Bullets to find success. Putting a mage into the bot side for Ballistic, who has been struggling a little bit with the lane swap. I think it is a difficult thing always. Like, we see the same thing for Frostide coming in as a role swap from jungle to the top lane. And having those role swaps is always difficult to adjust to. And now Spike going to take up the mantle as the AD carry. And then the team comp really still works the same. But we'll have to see how the how it adjusts for all of everything else. The lanes, I'm just going to assume on the right side that we know what's up. And it's just wonky due to the client being jank today. So this should be Malzahar for Blade, Lilia for Pen, and then we'll have Tristana for Agateo and Leona for Choffles. Just for everybody's, if you're tracking at home.
I do like this Malzahar R5 because it can lead to comboed with the Leona and set. Like, everyone can just dive on top of this Yunara right now. Fortunately for the Bullets, they have plenty of frontline and a solid amount of peel as well to try and protect Yunara. She doesn't quite have like a Lulu at her side as last game, which is the generally perceived premier combo, Yunara Lulu.
Gotta do the prediction.
Oh, yep. Gotta make sure everyone gets their Gamba in. Can't forget about that.
The Bucks won last game. I'm always second.
Yes.
Every single time I second guess myself because I can't undo the payout. So.
Yeah.
I gotta just take a second, make sure I get this right.
Yep.
Alright, 2 minutes on the clock. Get your gambles in now.
Who will win? The full dive Scorch or the protect the president Bullets?
One that I'm always watching out for is Lilia. Because I think Lilia has the ability to really warp a game around herself. And so I think Pen has a lot of opportunity to do that here. Should be very familiar with Sejuani's power levels. We've seen her play that champion as well. And so I'm watching for, on the side of the Scorch, Tristana and Lilia to be the ones that can really open up some playmaking throughout the early and mid game. And then some Nethergrass from Malzahar to open things up as well. If Set is able to find a fat suplex onto the Trundle into the enemy team, that can really open things up for the dive. But I'm looking at the Tristana rocket jump's ability to buffer pretty much everything that the other team wants to do. It is difficult to hook out of it. You can buffer the hook, you can buffer the snare from Mel. The things to watch out for the rocket jump are the flay out of the air, the Trundle pillar out of the air, and then being knocked out of the air by Sejuani charge. I think other than that, there's a lot of ability for Agateo to really leap around in these fights, and we're going to have to watch very carefully the levels 2 and 3 in the bot side to see where the how the aggression plays out.
Do you remember the Area 51 meme back in like 2019 where like if we all do the Naruto run at Area 51, they can't stop us all?
That's right.
I feel like that's going to be Scorch's approach to this game. If we just all flash and dash on top of Yunara, they can't stop us all. So
Could be the way.
I think that's our game plan.
Oh, we're immediately in. Okay. This music paused. Throw us to end game. I have to. You always might see me doing this every time, but if you don't toggle the chat on and then off, it will just be there anyway. The spectator is a lie, and Riot hates me.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Understandable. But I am fully fast forwarded to 1:10.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me. I hate this. Why do I have to do this every game?
It's fine. Nothing's happened yet.
Yeah, double wards
Junglers
down
are
on the ramps.
clearing. Yeah, they just did some preemptive warding to try to scout out jungle paths. They should know. Actually, I don't think Bullets will have the information. Actually, wait, yes, they do. Yeah, both teams should know that both junglers are starting on top side and pathing towards bot lane.
They should have a reasonable ability to make that conclusion. Oh, we did get the name change in, so save Orca 96 back on the stage instead of on the Zap Orcas.
Yeah, at least he took Zap out of his name, bare minimum. That's all we can really hope for.
Yep. So Spike, in this Yunara into Malzahar matchup, I think actually has a really strong ability to trade auto attacks because Malzahar just hugely gated by mana in the early game, starting even for a Sapphire Crystal, and then trying to just scale further into the game. Just trying to have the wave push into him, and then gonna look for an early back to get a Lost Chapter. And we're gonna watch the bot side now as we're level 2, watching for this level 3 play, but with the Mel, you're not looking for that early engage, so it's all down to Agateo and Chopples trying to find a play.
Yep. Should be seeing something here, but honestly, the Mel can play so far back, I don't think they can do anything. They have the level 3 advantage. Xena's gonna land. They'll get a stun down. Root in return, though, from Mel prevents any kind of follow-up. Oh, play under tower, maybe? Nope. But the Scorch do get a trade advantage with this level 3 spike.
Both junglers pathing down here. They're clearing out their last camps, and then going to be looking for a play. Early ward down into the Tribe Rush. Nice vision.
Yep, they'll see the Sejuani coming. So, might not be able to get too much done.
Watched
Although
out by
in the
Bomb,
top side getting very low on this Trundle. Another level spike trade advantage by Scorch this time by Orcas. As junglers fighting over Scuttle. Scorch have first move. Bombman's got to get out of there. He can't win this. But ultimately might chase him down.
Nope, he'll get out.
Oh wait, Tristana. Yep. Bombman still had the charge on Sejuani. She's able to get away. So instead they'll swap Scuttle Crabs.
Jax looks for the hook, not going to quite connect. That trade topside, I think, really being dictated by just the creep wave, so Frostside being pushed back by Orcas. Ooh, close there on the pull.
Jungle's just going to try to farm under tower. Goes for the pillar in a bit of a trade. We'll miss a bit of CS for it, although I don't hate it because he's got Sejuani up here. Charge in, going to land. Haymaker doesn't do enough damage. He'll go down to Trundle for the first blood. Great gank by Bombman. Meanwhile, Leona's going to Zenith Blade in. Hooked under a tower just a little bit. Flash forced out of Jags. Another favorable trade for the Scorch bot lane.
Yeah, but the top side, really just Bash Brothers moving in and out. Nice spacing from Bombman and Frosttide to pick up that kill onto Orcas. Orcas preserves Flash, going to burn TP to get back out here to the top side. Crashes that creep wave into the tower and then looks for the harass on the end of it. And that's really what Bombman was able to take advantage of, moving up there after picking up the the Scuttle in the river.
Yeah, he'll give over first blood gold, but I don't think that's the end of the lane for this top lane matchup.
Here's what I mentioned mid, so taking that early reset into teleport back with the Lost Chapter, Blade's going to be in a much better spot now in that Malzahar. Still hunting for the level 9, try to get that Malefic Vision stacked out, and then that really unlocks him to have more impacts and damage over time in these team fights, and clear the creep wave and walk away more quickly than having to cast multiple spells. But that Lost Chapter is going to make the mana so much more sustainable, and he's going to be able to lane much better into Spike here. Spike picking up a Dark Seal. Does Dinar have AP scaling that I'm not aware of?
I think...
I'm sure there's some, but I didn't think it was significant at all. That's a curious pickup to me.
Okay, her passive makes her crits do additional magic damage, but I don't think that scales off of AP. Oh, her Q. Her Q does magic damage on him.
Okay, are we not
scaling with AP? She's got
we're on the dragon.
2 points.
Half
Yeah,
HP
2 points.
on the
2 points on
dragon
you.
left, and Scorch are here already. They have strong, they have numbers, but it's a flank.
Bombman gonna look for a steal. Malzahar ult onto the Sejuani. Red team will secure Dragon. Kills going back and forth right now. Tristana gonna leap away. Looks like they might be disengaging, but bullets want to follow. Okay, that's a flash burned out of Tristana. I think... Okay, and there's the other flash out of Blade. Good Thresh Q. Probably would have secured another kill. So let's see. That was a 1-for-1 in kills, but Scorch get the Dragon.
Yep, secured by Chopples. I imagine the Eclipse on the Leona. So really just edge of your seat there. Who's going to pick up that Dragon? Neither jungler able to secure it through the smite. The burn down from Penultimately, along with the Eclipse from Chopples, I think, able to find the secure. Ooh, nice Haymaker to trade back down on the Frosttide. And what looked like a very powerful position for the Scorch ends up falling to a pincer maneuver from the bullets. And so I think a heads-up play to take the fight like that. Frosttide trying to run past, I think, to proxy this creep wave with the Tiamat. Putting a lot of pressure down now after finding that Tiamat pickup and that kill early on. I think Subjugate makes him much stronger in this matchup at this point.
Yeah, shows how much I know about top lane. But oh, Zenith Blade gonna land on a Mel. Tristana gonna jump in to follow, but Mel will be forced to flash away.
Top lane's a scary place, don't go there. Hook mid, but not gonna connect. Goes through the wall slightly.
Yeah.
Blade doesn't have flash up.
Another Zenith Blade lands on the Bell. He doesn't have flash this time to get away. Not quite enough damage gonna go onto Leon to get the trade kill.
Oh!
And wow, oh my gosh. Okay, I didn't even get to see that in time, but kills in top and bot in favor
Looked
of
like
Scorch.
a flash forward from Orcas, and then suplexing Frosteye back down under the tower, and finding the Haymaker to finish it off. A flashy play from our short-term contract player to find the solo bolo topside. Bombman able to secure his own blue buff. Pen almost finding the perfect timing for a steal. And pings down now onto the Kevins as we have our Void Grub spawning. I'm choking. I need
Oh
water.
no, he's
Cough,
dying.
take over.
Save him. Okay, so penultimately onto the Grubs. Doesn't seem to be contested right now. Bombman might look for a move. Doesn't have vision though, so he's a little hesitant. He's gonna run into this pink ward. One goes down to penultimately. Still doesn't see them taking Grubs. He might see this Malzahar, so he'll poke his head forward. And oh no, penultimately gets all three, but she's in danger. Gonna get stunned up and taken down.
Talk to me about this trade then, because that's trading Pen able to secure the smite, Bombman spiting as soon as it gets there, but all three go over to the Scorch, but they trade over Pen's life.
Yeah, so it's honestly good that they got all three because Trundle with even one grub will erase towers. He's already really good at taking towers, probably the best in the game at it.
He's
So
up to
making
some
sure he doesn't get a
shenanigans up
single
there.
grub to help. For one kill onto... Oh, Trundle did get the kill though.
Trundle
So
could
already-
give over another kill as he's back to his shenanigans, proxying the creep wave, and Pen has run straight out of base after that death.
Doesn't
Next
have
down.
flash. Pullback's gonna land. Ultimate out of Lilia. Gonna make him go to sleep. But the healing is really strong. Haymaker doesn't land in the middle. He's turning on to penultimately. Does a lot of damage. Penultimately's gonna run away. Slowed lands again though. Frosttide running low on sustain. Flash Q out of penultimately. Oh no, he'll die to the dot. Okay.
Gank
Meanwhile,
bot side,
3v2 in the
Bombman.
bot lane in favor of bullets. Sejuani going in. Leona ult trying to peel. Doesn't quite have the Sejuani passive to get the stun on Leona, so she'll get out scot-free. Another favorable trade for Scorch.
Yep, 3 to 4 on the scoreboard, 16-2. It's really just neck and neck on the goal difference overall. Frosttide showing that he's not afraid to continue playing for this heavy pressure, but then it's an immediate walkout to the top side, and Pen finds a kill. Burns flash to do so, and that shows just how dangerous this Trundle matchup is. But it's good to keep that momentum from building too high. Hook going just short as Chaffles applies pressure to the spot side. Jags looking for a reset.
Yep, Jags stops his recall again. I understand being afraid of the dive onto Mel, who doesn't have flash right now. But the Scorch are going to take their reset as well, which should allow bullets to do the same.
That
item's starting to come in.
Farm fest.
Yeah, I think Yunara prefers that though, because if Yunara can scale for free, get six slotted as an ADC, I think she prefers that.
I think Blade's got to be feeling pretty good about his choice to go for that Sapphire Crystal, getting away with it and keeping up exactly in CS. First one in the game to pick up completed item, but others are there now as well. Dragon
Spot
spawning
River
up.
though, looks like they want to go for the engage onto Leona. She'll get out. Ward coverage good for Scorch in this river. Zenith Blade in onto Leona. Gonna dash out of this Eclipse though. Hook gonna land. Tristana jumping in. They should... Oh no! Okay, Sejuani does go down to the dot. Malzahar ult onto the low HP Yunara. That'll be 2 for Scorch, and they'll get the objective to follow, I would assume.
Should be able to. It's free to them to take.
I thought for a second Tristana ulted the Sejuani to safety, but nope, that was calculated. They knew the dot would kill the Sejuani.
Yeah, just enough damage between the dot and the bomb. Will finish that out, resetting the rocket jump, and they can charge further. Flash Nether Grasp out of Blade. Nice secure onto Spike, and they pick up the Yunara as well. 2 down, and that's a free dragon take, and we're looking for more. Bell could be in danger.
Gonna get rooted up by Leona, has 3. on top of her. Can't get away. That's going to be another kill going over to Tristana. Yep, so Tristana off to the races. 3 kills so far. A little bit down in CS. You know, I mean, that's Mel bot lane for you. But manages to get kills to make up for it. Resets coming in for Scorch. Cross
Got a moment
all
here.
the lanes
Let's
here.
check in on our gold differences. 300 gold advantage in the top side, but Orca's just finding the reset, able to not quite finish his first item. Looking for that strike.
He's opted for tier 2 boots. Yeah. He really wants to be able to either get away from that Trundle in certain scenarios, or chase him down when he's got backup.
Early advantage to Pen in the jungle, 1,000 gold up there. Small advantage in the mid lane over to Spike, but not really too much to speak of. Really one to highlight is the bot side, where Agateo, roughly 1,300 gold up over Bell on the Mel pickup.
That's the F-Sword.
Yep. That's the BF sword that's in the inventory. That's the impact right there, as he's got 159 in pocket. So truly, that BF sword is the manifestation of the gold diff in the bot side. And you kind of are, I think, expecting Tristana to be able to have this high levels of aggression, and it's down to Bell to really just survive in those mid-game team fights. They could be.
Malzahar might be looking. Flash is back up for Bell. Bell on Mel. I can't believe I just made that connection. But the
Nethergrass is really going to shut all of that down. I think Blade's just going to walk up and pull the trigger after Choffles takes aggro.
Okay, Leon ult misses, but they've got the point-and-click stuns to deal plenty of CC and secure a kill. No flash be able to be used at all. That's another one onto the Tristana.
Immediate teleport down and 3 collapse to try to find the find a counterplay, but it's just a back away from Scorch. They find the engage, they find the kill, and then they back away. That's a nice use of Nether Grasp. I think Blade's again looking good this week.
Yeah, very smart with his map movements and playmaking so far.
Ball and Pen in the top side, sitting just out of vision, I believe. Perhaps just on vision. I didn't have time to check, but Frosteye not giving anything up this time around.
Yeah, no heal cut on Set or Lilias, and Trundle has finished his Ravenous Hydra, so I don't think they'll be able to look for anything onto him. So it should just continue to be a farm for us. Meanwhile, a Zenith Blade lands onto Yunara. Sejuani ult return onto Tristana. Yunara brought very low, is going to have to retreat. Just survives the ignite damage. So no kills going down, but this should be a free tower for Scorch. I don't think Sejuani can stop this. Never mind. Wait, no, she's got W. She's fine. And she's got plenty of HP. And Scorch is too low, so it'll just be a tempo loss for bullets by Yunara not being able to be on the map.
A call out from Demi in the chat. I'm such a crap teammate. Good luck, Scorch.
It's okay, Demi.
Unfortunate. We heard this. Sounds like there was extenuating circumstances. We were able to find a fill-in, but it's good to have you here on the stream. Little haymaker
So
action.
this Herald is up on the map, and it looks like
Trying to find
Scorch
themselves
are
an opening.
playing towards topside. They've currently got 3, trying to collapse under Trundle, who does have Flash, and he'll use it to get away from the Lilia Q. Use Pillar to slow her down, but Lilia ult is going to keep him in place for a little bit. Zenith Blade going to land. Stun to follow up, along with the ultimate, and he might just go down. He does get the subjugate off. Oh, and it's going to barely keep him alive, but the Haymaker to keep himself alive after suplexing him under his own turret. That's a kill going over to Scorch again, and they'll try to get this Herald on top of it.
Yep, it was nearly an escape from Frostide in the 1v3. They invested the Hayseed and just everything burned in order to build this opening to take this Rift Herald for free in the top side. But is it worth it? And it looks like it's gonna be. They find a kill. They burn Orca's Flash and Ultimate in the top side, but they secure the objective. Rocket Jump bottom.
Okay, Agateo forced to flash to dodge the Yunara damage, but oh my goodness, this Gunblade Yunara is doing a lot of work. Might die to the Leona though, and yes, it will be a 1-for-1 in the end, but Yunara did get the shutdown gold for killing Tristana. Flash for Flash traded as well off those 2 ADCs.
Both of them are going to be down for this dragon. Frostide is up in the top side, does not have teleport. He just used it to get up there as the objective spawned. So Bullets know they're going to be playing this one a man down.
Malzahar going to TP into the Dragon Pit. Already going very low. And that's going to be kill but for Mel onto the enemy jungler, so that means bullets can secure this. Another Grasp gonna secure the kill onto Mel, and Bombman's gonna try to flash out to safety and dash as well, but he's slowed a little bit, and he's gonna get killed, added to the death toll. They will secure the dragon for themselves, the bullets, and stop that stacking, but they'll give over 2 kills in return.
Stacking is
There was also
stopped.
double TP used by the Scorched solo laners.
Yeah, Blade with a late flash there to try to secure that kill, but I think they would have had the pickup either way. I think, unfortunately, 2 summoner spells that Blade's going to want to reconsider. We saw perhaps just some miscommunication on how much they wanted to commit to this dragon fight, because Orca's teleporting inside the pit is there in time to assist, but Blade a little bit late on the play after Bell has already finished off Pen, trying to secure that steal. And that'll bring us to the 4th dragon spawning in 4 minutes, as it's 5-12 on the scoreboard. It's only a 2,000 gold lead, but this game has had quite a bit of action. We're having roughly a kill a minute. It's not nearly as much as we saw game 1 this evening, but goodness gracious, they're keeping us on our toes for the end of this round robin. Everybody is heating up as the season progresses.
Yep. My spectator just paused for about 10 seconds there, and I can't fast forward, so I'm down to 1808 on my timer.
Well,
I can't. Yeah, I'm not sure what that was about.
is it still like that?
But I'm on 1819.
I hit
1820.
backspace and then just like fast forward as far as you can.
Okay, hopefully that'll fix it. Riot doing everything in their power to make sure this is as scuffed as possible.
They're making my life real difficult. Jags looking for the deep vision, going to find it. They have complete control over the top side of the map. It's going to enable Frosteye to push as hard as he would like to into this enemy, into the enemy set for Orcas. But Agateo is set up in the mid lane, and Troffles is getting control of the bottom side. So Baron is spawning in a minute, but the Scorch are choosing to invest all of their control into the bottom side of the map. Ooh, there's a Zenith Blade.
Oh no,
reflecting
Bell!
back.
He brought himself in. He did not want to reflect that Zenith Blade, because now he might die to the bomb.
Oh no,
and
the Ignite
it's the Ignite
finishes
that'll
him.
get the kill instead.
Oh, but it's a hook under
Okay,
tower.
Jags
The
lands
cannon
a
is
Q, but he
tanking
doesn't
it.
have damage to follow it up. Oh no, we talked about it in Champ Select that the one thing that Mel does not want to spell reflect is that Zenith Blade. Bombman, in the meantime, a little bit deep, trying to go for a flank, might get lanterned out. He can't click on it though because there are too many enemies. Now he's going to get rooted up, stunned up, and he might go down. Yanar going to be off to the side, trying to offer assistance, but isn't enough. They're in a 2v4 situation.
Frostide is
keep
in the
taking
enemy
this Herald,
jungle
charging
trying
in.
to find the flank, but Orcas is on the rotate as well. 5 members of Scorch here. There's Bombman
Baron
already
hasn't even
down as
spawned.
Bell respawns. Choppers could be
Oh.
caught out.
Yeah, he's going to be a little too deep. He'll go down. Nether Grasp onto the Yanara. Liliad going to try to follow up with the damage.
Huge.
Suplex onto several. Big damage. Mel Alt going to try to do some in return, but that's an ace for the Scorch. At 20 minutes, they're going to get an inhibitor.
Yep, Baron spawns and the inhibitor goes down. Chopples definitely overextends in the play, but then Bell just not able to get enough damage down to make the team fight go in his team's favor. He's got 2 items, 2.5 items to play with there. There's 3,500 gold in Agateo's pocket right now as they ping down onto Baron.
A little bit risky because the enemy jungler is up, and yes, it looks like
So
he
I
just go
think
for a
he's
reset
realized
instead.
I'm sitting on 3,500
Yeah.
gold I need to buy.
Yes, yes. I personally see a QSS in Spike's future, hopefully, because the reason they lost that last team fight was the ultimate out of Malzahar. Just completely shutting him down and locking him in place for the Lilia to jump on top, followed with a set showstopper. Just too much damage soaked up in that Malzahar ultimate. Needs to be getting that QSS as soon as it can, so that that kind of play isn't available to the Scorch anymore. Meanwhile, Jags might be a little bit caught out here. Malzahar ult about to come up. Zenith Blade gonna land over the wall. They'll stun him up. He's already on half HP. He doesn't have a. He does have flash, but I don't think it'll be worth it here. He's got Trundle off to the side. Gonna try to offer a pillar to help, but there was just too much damage.
Yeah, Paul is waved off. Frosteye does not elect to try to save his teammate. Lets him die
Oh,
for
Truffles
free.
though. He might have gone too deep himself.
Little LCC
The supports are
overstep,
running it.
essentially.
He's gonna miss his ultimate TP from Mel into the bot side river to help. Malzahar ult onto the Trundle. The red buff play was pushed back by the Scorch, and they're gonna try to collapse onto this Trundle. In the meantime, he's already burned very low from the Malzahar, and now he's in a 1v3 scenario. his ultimate, his subjugate. Nope, that Haymaker is going to clip him and finish off the kill. Dragon started by Scorch in the meantime.
So a stagger after after teleporting back in, and now staggered again. Frostide is gone, the gray screen, and this will be the third dragon picked up for the Scorch as they build momentum into the late game. And another Zenith Blade.
Zenith Blade lands. Another one onto Yunar. Flash over the wall from Tristana. Gonna try to get the Satchel Charge. Resets.
Rocket jumping so deep.
Secure kill and escape. Mel W not gonna reflect much damage. She'll go down as well. Sets there to try to lock the Sejuani in place. He'll showstopper her back into the team. Oh no, Agateo's gonna take a tower shot.
So Orca drops tower aggro with the suplex, and then Agateo pays for it, getting stunned at the end of that rocket jump with the Glacial Prison. So nice trade for Bomb Man. Really the best he could hope for in that scenario. But unfortunately, that's the best they could hope for. Agateo finds the dive under the outer tower, dives deeper with Orcas on the rotate around, and then they're able to pick up another tower on the play. So the Scorch are continuing their tempo, trying to keep these waves pushed in, keep all of the vision control for themselves, and I think we're going to see a reset to walk out to this Baron.
Yeah, the bullets, they want this Trundle to be able to side lane, but the dive threat that the Scorch have is just too threatening onto the bullets backline. Yunara and Mel not able to keep themselves safe enough. The protection from Thresh and Sejuani, just, there isn't point and click CC to stop the divers from diving. Yes, you have a flay and a charge, which are skill shots if you're trying to interrupt a dash. So the burden of execution relies heavily on Bullet's ability to outplay these dive attempps. And here we see Scorch moving towards this Baron.
So it's a teleport down to the bot side from Blade, and there's a teleport available for Frostide. Never mind, we're in on the blue
They're going
buff,
to
so
commit for the Sejuani on his blue buff. Lantern not quite going to save him. And ultimate from Malzahar onto the Trundle wasn't under the tower far enough, so he'll be able to walk away. Flash showstopper from the set onto the Yunara, who does not able to flash to safety herself. She'll go down, and that should be a Baron for the Scorch.
So the angle in for the...
Ooh,
what a hook!
Onto Tristana, huge. Mel damage is pretty good at this point in the game at 2.5 items, and it's going to be enough to kill the Tristana. That might stop a Baron take, because Malzahar is recalling.
I was about to say that
the
Scorch are not letting off the pressure, and so it really doesn't provide much room for the bullets to breathe and try to set up Frostide on these side lanes to push out. But then a hook out of left field to catch onto Agateo buys them crucial time to build up to the late game, looking for those 3 items on Mel to try to get to the same item tier as Tristana. And then Spike picked out from that flash play from Orcas. They're not going to have that one available next time around. So they need to keep their farm numbers up and try to scale into the late game where they can take these team fights a little bit more of an even footing. And then I think Frostide is level 16 now, and going to has that maxed out. What is it called? Lord's Domain or something?
Oh, his Frozen Domain, yeah.
Frozen Domain.
So that buff is on this patch is in full effect. But here's this Baron start from Scorch. Currently, bullets are not in range to stop it. It's going down very fast. It's at half HP, and without any vision. It should, and Sejuani is also in bot river, so that's going to be a free Baron take for Scorch. The Lily E does not land on prime enough target. Flash! Okay, so that Thresh Q was probably going to land on Malzahar, but he had his passive, and it wouldn't have stunned him.
Well, Blade's nerves, making sure that he doesn't eat a hook, but of course the kit would have made sure as well, but Scorch are on the hunt. Frostide knows he's in danger at this point. Orcas has laid the bait, subjugate down.
He's going to subjugate the set for a bit of resistances and damage,
connects,
but there's the Leona combo. He's flashing under the enemy towers now, just trying to cause enough of a distraction. Okay, he's burned a lot of enemy ultimates, I will say that. And his team is taking a mid tower, getting themselves a bounty, potentially. I don't hate
Good
the
luck
play.
from the Bullets to be able to take what they can at the end of the day. Trading 1 kill for this gold bounty, I think is gonna be worth it overall. It's 48k to 55k on the scoreboard. 9 to
They need to
26 on
recall
the
those.
kills, but
Scorch
there's
pushing
2 in
bot.
the bot side pushing. And they've got Baron.
Yep, and Tristana just erases turrets at this point in the game at 3.5 items. They'll get an inhibitor tower for themselves, exposing another inhibitor.
Pings down onto this Dragon Soul for the Scourge, and they don't have Frosteye back up yet, so this is going to be a Mountain Soul finished up as Bombman tries to position for a steal, but a nice red trinket and then a Zenith Blade over the wall connects down onto Bombman.
Oh, wait, hold on. Scorch might not want this fight, and they're going to back away. They realize that they were in a potentially 3v5 scenario had they overforced their hand.
All they have to do is play for the Dragon, and they do so. Now Mountain Soul picked up for the Scourge.
Yep, that will make this Set and Leona very hard to kill when it's only a Yunara and Mel really hitting them in team fights. Unless this Trundle joins the 5v5, which I doubt he'll want to do considering split pushing is the name of the Trundle game. Currently pushing out bot again, still trying to get all the outer towers for the Bullets. Scorch are going to push in this mid lane though, with their Baron buff, although I think it's expiring pretty soon. Let's see if I can click on one of them. Yeah, it's got about 20 seconds left. They'll be able to get a wave in, potentially take an inhibitor. Might look for a fight. Sejuani and Trundle are on a flank angle. They could try to pincer move them as they go for the second inhibitor. See if they want it though. True 5v5, but the Scorch have an 8k gold lead at this point. You know, are looking for a bit of damage. They don't want to let them get away for free. See if a pillar can interrupt a target. Sejuani ults Tristana, but she buffers it perfectly.
That's what I was talking about before the game started.
Okay, the pillar though, onto this set, he's going to get second place. He doesn't have flash yet. He is going to get taken down potentially. Haymaker for a lot of self-peel. Show stops Sejuani back. Leona ult onto the back line to try and peel. It's still a 3v5 for Scorch, but they're not quite able to take down Sejuani. Set's going to fall as well. Already 2 kills for the Bullets. They'll get a third here. They're losing their top inhibitor tower though.
In the 3v5, they don't give anything back over, so now they need to collapse down on Agateo and Blade, try to find it. Glacial Prison's on cooldown. Can they look for anything? Almost catching Tristana out of the air. Flash forward from
Flash Q. Malzahar ult onto a Sejuani. That's going to be a flash death sentence from Thresh. He gets the Q onto the Malzahar. He might go down. Exhaust onto Tristana. Mel damage is online at this point. She's got the finished Rabadon. That's 2 more kills. And that's actually an ace for the Bullets, clawing their way back into this game.
Scorch had to split themselves up 3 versus 5 for them to be able to do it, but that is going to buy them more time. Every single tower to defend their base, except for the Nexus turrets, is gone. But these inhibitors will respawn, and so Bullets live to shoot again another day.
Yep, and only 2 plates left on that top tower for the Scorch, although they're responding to it as quick as they can to try and stop the Trundle from taking it and claiming another bounty, and they'll force him back.
Yep, bounty's still on the board for the Bullets to be able to pick up. You can see them across the top of the screen there. But the gold difference is not insurmountable. At 30 minutes into the game, a 5,000 gold difference. We can take a we can investigate where is that gold difference lying. Frostide is ahead of Orcas after so much side laning on the Trundle, almost finding the Flame Horizon at this point in the game.
I blinked and now he has Blade of the Ruin King and Spirit Visage.
Oh yeah, he's been on the side lane farming. That's what I was talking about. They needed to get to this late point in the game. We can also see Bell, similarly, 233 gold. When you have all of these waves shoved into you for so long, you can get that money back for yourself. And it is crucial to end the game, which is something that Scorch have found issues doing, and they have that's why they have been unable to find their first win on the board. And so it's going to come down to this execution and closing this out as a group. They cannot see themselves get caught out like they did in that last rotation. It was a nice pillar to pick out Orcas on the in the mid lane.
Yep, and honestly, it might have been the wrong call to try to take that top lane inhibitor tower instead of continuing to stay grouped as 5. Utilize that wallet diff. Take a team fight. Okay, but Scorch are looking for a play in the Bullets jungle. They'll sniff it out though, as Vision is the name of the game, as we wait for Baron to spawn in just 15 seconds. Okay, Blade though has to be a little bit careful. That Trundle does really hurt.
Bundle hurts, but so does Malzahar at this point in the game, and that Rylai's with a flash should keep him some distance, so just gonna have to watch out for that pillar and flash for himself. Teleport up to make sure that Blade is here on
really
time.
TP.
And it's a walk-up from Frostide.
Yes, their Baron damage is very strong at this point with Tristana on 4 items. The bullets are here though. Hook gonna land onto Set. Sejuani ult onto Tristana. Haymaker gonna deal damage to several. Leona ult onto Mel and Nethergrasp onto Yunara. The carries focused down by Scorch. They'll get 2 by Tristana, and it's already looking like a 1 fight for Scorch. 5-4-0 quadra kill for Tristana.
Clean ace, and there's a gorgeous Glacial Prison down directly onto Agateo, but the follow-up just isn't there. The bullets are a little bit too far away. Bell with a hopeful ultimate, but the damage just not able to finish them off. And the Scorch are going to walk this one in for their first win to complete the round robin. So we will have no winless teams, and everybody fighting for trying to claw their way really just out of this bottom slots. We have a clear division
I hate
between
to
our
break
top.
it to you. I hate to break it to you, but it is Zon that's winless, and this is Scorch's second win. So congratulations,
you're right.
Scorch,
1-3-1-3.
on getting a second dub of the first round robin, and that concludes it. We have one more round robin to go.
Forgive me, Pen. My bad. That was last week.
Don't worry, Scorch. I'm looking out for you.
I'm just tired.
I know
I
you
have to
got
work
it. I
all
know you
day,
got it.
and then I have to prep the stream, and I have to sit here and talk for 3.5 hours. I make a mistake here and there. My bad.
It's fine. It's fine. All good. All
My
good.
bad.
But that's gonna be it for this week. Scorch claimed that win. A couple hiccups, but mostly clean.
Hang on, who bet on the Scorch? Because it is 4 voters for the Scorch, but it's 4% of the shareholder value. And so they're going to get a little bit of a payout here.
Donks. Big money movers for whoever did that. Yeah. All right.
Ooh-wee. And that brings us to the end of week 5, the end of the first round robin. Oh, goodness. All right, I need a sip of water. Go.
Yep. Collect yourselves, but that's going to be it for tonight. So that means we have no perfect scores left at this first round robin with, I believe that's 3 teams tied at 4-1 with Targon, Buckaroos, and the Frost. And then you've got Scorch getting ahead of the bottom half of the pack at 2-3. Bullets falling to 1-4, and Zon, they'll figure things out. I believe in them. I think they've just got a little bit more work to do, and they could actually make a case for themselves because they showed some strength in our game today. Crispy is a force to be reckoned with.
He's a little rat bastard. Really makes my life difficult.
I couldn't agree more.
I couldn't agree more. Here's our standings at the end of week 5. Targon Titans, Bucks, and Frost all sitting at the top of the table. We have a clear divide to the bottom half with Shurima Scorch, Bullets, and Zon Plague. 2-3, 1-4, and 0-5. And Zon Plague, don't count them out. I think they've had a rough first round robin, but everybody's going to make it to the playoffs. They are not to be discounted, but they have a long road ahead of them.
Very true. Very true. Yep. Well, all right. This was a fun week. Glad I was able to come on and cast with you for at least one game.
It was a stressful one.
Yeah, right.
I'm
Doing
glad that
everything
I
in
had
their
Jax here
power.
for the first half, unlike last time where I had you and Matt joining me, and I was trying to also fix all the administrative stuff. It was like, and Jax didn't join me for the first half hour of the stream, so it's been a fun one, and it's been honestly a terrible week. So the LCC is a highlight for sure.
Yep. I love this league. I love that it's been put together. Thank you, Jace and Jags, for hosting. But I think that's going to be it for tonight.
Thank you, TJ. Thank you, Kalka. But that's it for us. We'll be back with you next week. See you in the server.
See you next week.